Hello. Broadcasting live from beautiful Midtown Manhattan, where on a clear night you can almost see a 500-pound Buffalo man successfully losing weight without dieting, 300 pounds in foster children. It's the Ron and Fez Show, and I'm your announcer, Joe Pooh. And now let's introduce your hosts. The two guys taking the candy from your stocking and filling it with cat crap. Here they are, Ron Bennington, Fez WNEW, Radio Sideshow Santas.
Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll. Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll.
Where are we going, Hawk? You're right, we are going there.
We got freak show.
Buddies! Buddy, good in the buddies! It's the Ron and Fez Show. And, bro, I don't know if you've been listening the last couple hours. We're throwing smoke today.
I'll tell you.
That Opie and Anthony show killed me. I like the homeless guys so much better when they're not in the studio.
That works for me.
Yeah.
We're going to have to scramble, come up with some sort of retarded kids shopping spree. Something quick tonight.
Get us 8 retarded kids and a charge card. That rock and roll Johnny last night was hanging around here. He tried to get in the studio, and Stinky has him by the shirt, keeping him from coming in here during our show. And he's going, no, it's a different show. And he's looking, and he's going like this. Who is it? Dr. Vicky with advice?
Dr. Vicky, I need some advice quick, please.
And I'm like, hey, man, don't call me Dr. Vicky. I'm serious. I don't know where the Dr. Vicky thing started, but I want it squashed now. All right? I'm not going to be heckled by the homeless people. Very, very funny stuff. Very, very funny stuff tonight. It is the Ron and Fez Show. We've got another Palm M500 handheld to give out in the first hour, Fez.
This is with the new OS version 4.0 software, just in time for the holidays. You want to check out all the great Palm products, go to palm.com for more purchasing information.
Are you even feeling like the holidays yet with this heat wave?
The heat is hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Because I like December where it's heads down, coats around your throat, and you're just screaming because you're in pain. It's so cold.
It just doesn't feel very Christmassy.
But I do have the Christmas spirit. Of course, the fam was here all last week, and we did all the holiday stuff. Rockefeller, Center Christmas Tree, Rockettes, Macy's Santaland. Yes, it's been shoved down my throat. I surrender. I feel Christmassy.
Now, you're an adult, right?
Uh-huh.
Why are you going to your parents, with your parents to these places?
They want to see.
Do you run and try to pull their hands? Come on! We're going to miss them!
Then we hit the cereal aisle at the supermarket where I go nuts.
I really, until homeless shopping here today, I didn't really feel so Christmassy. Now, my family used to do a very bizarre thing every year. Our Christmas tree was not a regular Christmas tree at all. I don't know if anyone else has ever done this. I didn't see it too much outside my family. My dad would chop down like a regular tree.
Yeah.
Like a tree with no leaves, and then put lights on it, and then wrap the whole thing in cotton.
Really?
Yeah. And we had this, he used to call it a white tree, and it was the most ridiculous-looking thing. And people, when you're a little kid, you don't want anything different.
No.
You don't want your friends coming over and see this bizarre...
The cotton tree?
Crazy tree.
So that was your Christmas tree every year?
Yeah, and then every year I'd say, is there any way that we can possibly get an evergreen here so that I could invite... No, this is our tradition. I go, how is it a tradition if no one else ever does it? Your grandfather did it.
Yes, because they didn't have trees, probably. And you decorated a branch.
Not only that, to wrap it in cotton used to take about a month.
Oh, my God.
So we'd have like a regular tree and then constant wrapping really slow.
As you spin your Christmas cocoon around the tree.
Don't make me feel worse for it. All right, Billy's writing something about his family tree. Billy, come on in here.
It has no branches.
All right, people writing in on the instant feedback. A white tree, no wonder you turned to cook. Look, please. That's not fair.
Nice.
What was your Christmas tree, Billy?
We had the big silver spinning tree.
The silver spinning tree?
Wait, with the color wheel with revolving colors that would shine different lights on the tree all the time.
That was so 60s. They really tried to move people into aluminum trees into the 60s. And I think it was the whole reason of the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Right, yeah, those aluminum trees you saw in there.
I loved it.
In later years, Billy would go shopping for the Christmas tree every year at Studio 54.
Right. Now, that's embarrassing. So that was always your family tree?
Oh, yeah. And
did it make you feel Christmassy?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I actually look forward to it because in my family, putting up the tree is almost as big as the holiday.
Why is that?
We have a big party, a decorating the tree party, or hors d'oeuvres and kind of stuff.
You don't put any ornaments on those kind of trees, do you?
Oh, yeah, you do. It was all
He hung hors d'oeuvres on it, Ronnie.
No, we did. It was always, they were always the same, too. It's just like a ball and tassels. For some reason, that was I guess that's what goes with it.
That was your bad uncle hanging that on the tree. Balls and tassels.
That wasn't tassels you're yanking on.
Now, I had an aunt whose tradition was you don't see the tree till Christmas. Santa brought the tree. The tree didn't arrive until it came with the gifts.
Right. And that makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Well, the bag is so full of toys. The man has to carry trees, too?
No, but then you get up in the morning and it's the whole wonder thing. I hated the families that would just throw their presents out as they bought them.
Some people actually go buy their trees just on Christmas Eve and, already at the store, already decorated. Just give me that one.
A lot of people actually even shop that night.
Yeah.
They don't even start shopping.
This year I have the new fiber optic tree. With no lights.
Those are nice.
The lights are in the branches. So you don't even have to put a string on there. It's nice. I checked all this stuff out.
Pantera's writing in on the instant feedback that his grandfather had to buy the Charlie Brown tree. They couldn't put more than 5 ornaments on it. Because that Charlie Brown special, they started to feel bad for those little ugly trees. So now it became a good thing that you felt like you're doing something good now. So you tell the kids, you see that? We're going home like Charlie.
And on the other side of it, you didn't realize you had a sucky tree till Charlie Brown pointed it out. Our tree looks like that one. I didn't realize it was so bad.
Fezzy, maybe here's how we'll give out the Palm M500 handheld. It's that really stupid tradition that only your family had. Look for the wackiest one.
All right.
Joe Poo, come on in here. You're going to be the judge. Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Joe Poo.
Hi, Joe.
And season's greetings.
Joe, your family do anything like this? Krishicki family?
No, the only thing strange we usually do is when we're done with the tree, we throw it out of the 3rd-story window on garbage night. So we don't have to carry it down the stairs.
Come on, kids, gather around the tree. It's garbage night.
It's another white trash Christmas for the Pooh family.
Yes, sir.
Any of those for you, Fuzzy? Anything strange?
We have the onion tradition, Ronnie.
What's that?
This goes back, I guess it's like the lump of coal in your stocking. We used to tease my baby brother that if he was bad, he would get an onion in his stocking. I don't know why we picked an onion. To this day, everyone, grown adults, someone still gets an onion in their stocking every year.
Well, who gives it out? Is there only one of you gets an onion?
Yeah, usually one of us gets an onion. It's who's ever not suspecting it ends up getting an onion. And I think it goes from stocking to stocking, too. And we find,
like if you find one in yours, you quit getting somebody else's?
Yeah, before it's noticed.
This year, if you get it in yours, just reach in and grab a big bite of it.
And just chomp it
and say, I no longer fear the onion.
Thank you. I was hoping to get an onion. In fact, one of them got left in my stocking here when my parents were visiting last week.
Nice.
They left for the airport. I thought they had put candy in my stocking that I hung out.
You put out a stocking for yourself?
Oh, yeah. And it,
weird.
And it wasn't candy. It was an onion.
All right, I've
already gotten the onion.
We're going to take some of these things. But I think Fez just won a Palm M500 handheld. Here is Steve. Steve, you're on Line of Fez.
Hey, Steve.
We had the stupidest tradition. We used to string cranberries and popcorn to put on the tree. The popcorn always broke, and the cranberries look like raisins in 3 days.
Now, I remember when I was a little kid, we were stringing that because we had the big stupid white tray, we would have a little tray called a cookie tray, and that would be like in our rec room or TV room, that my mom made cookies and wrapped them and put them up, and then we strung popcorn around it.
Right.
And I'm like, and I would say to my friends, "Where's your cookie tray?" And they're going, "What the F are you talking about?" And then I found out.
You had 2 trees,
right.
2 Christmas trees, and still neither one of them able to get you any neighborhood prestige.
I'm talking like a madman to my friends.
A cookie tree?
Yeah.
It sounds great. I love the idea. I've never heard of it in my lifetime.
It's insane. Fezzy is insane.
Now, did you ever string the Fruit Loops? We strung Fruit Loops. They're very colorful.
That's really?
Uh-huh.
You dip them in milk? I never heard of the cranberry, Steve. What do you think,
and
Joe?
when you were done, everybody's fingers were red. It looked like a crime scene.
Yeah, Steve's in the final.
All right, you're in the final, Steve.
Nice, Steve.
We couldn't put food on our tree because the cockroaches would eat it.
You and your fears. Those cockroaches were your ornaments. His ornaments were climbing up the end of the tray.
Well, you heard of a living Christmas tree? That's what Joe Pooh had. Alive with roaches.
Hey, Anthony, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
My family's weird tradition was on Christmas Eve we have to have 7 different types of fishes.
On the tree?
And now we will have these 7 types of fishes. Sea bass, flounder. Now, why 7 different types?
I have no idea. My grandmother brought us up that way, and that's just the way we do it.
Now, I know a lot of Catholics, because I don't think you were allowed to eat meat. Wasn't that the deal on Christmas Eve? It was like a Good Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you would either have pasta or you'd have seafood. But I never heard of the traditional 7 fishes, each from a different sea.
And, of course, number 7, a can of Stockist tuna.
The Caribbean brings us... he's got to be in. I'm not even going to look at you, Joe.
Yeah, he's in that.
Just tell us what 7 fishes you would have every year.
Well, it depends. Like, we have, bacala and...
I'm starving.
Squid, little galamad, stuff.
God bless the Italians. All right, hold on. That's very funny, Anthony. I like the 7 different types of fish. I understand fish, but why 7 different types?
Right. And one poor Christmas, it was just those goldfish crackers. It was sad that year.
Hey, Kurt, you're on Run of Fez.
Hi, Kurt.
Yeah, my brother-in-law was a hunter, and one year he shot a deer, and he had this old nasty hide, and every year it would be passed around from family to family. So, whoever got it the year before, the unlucky person would wrap it up and pass it on to whoever it was kind of like the onion thing with...
I know, it's an uglier version of the onion.
But that would be the present that you would get from your brother?
Well, luckily, hopefully it wasn't the only present you got, but,
That's
it was...
So then it would be your job to take care of the deer hide every year?
Yeah, and it was a nasty, smelly old thing, and it had been sitting around for years, and wasn't tanned real well, so after a while I got pretty ripe,
All right, what do you think, Joe? That's a good
He's
one.
in.
Yeah. That's too damn good. Because our traditions were so stupid, I love to laugh at other people.
877-692-1027. Your chance to win a Palm M500 handheld.
Right, now you can do that instead of having the smelly deer hide.
Or wrap your handheld in a deer hide. Boy, won't they be surprised this year.
Hey, Anthony, you're on Ryan and Fez.
How you doing, guys? Card holder 5250. Let's see. Every year after Thanksgiving, the day after, we have to go cut ours down. And my wife is half Russian.
Yeah.
The thing stays up until the end of January. By the time middle of January comes around, it does look like the Charlie Brown tree.
Actually, I think you got to get rid of your tree January 1st. No matter what. That's the end of it for me, man.
What's the bad luck thing? Is it before or after New Year's?
I consider after.
I think you're supposed to take it down after 3 Kings Day.
I start to itch.
What's 3 Kings Day?
I think it's January 7th. Or
anybody
tell my wife to
shouldn't
take
it be
that
the
thing
3rd?
down, I'd love it.
Why would anybody leave it up to January 7th?
That's what Mom tells us. I think she's just lazy.
For the 7 different fishes.
Joe Pooh's mom left it up there for July 4th. Why don't we just light the tree on
I
fire?
had an aunt that left it up till Easter.
Surprised
one
it
year,
doesn't
that's
catch on
real.
fire. It's up there so long.
She's bringing items home from the diner to hang on the tree. An old powdered donut, an open-faced roast beef sandwich.
Joe Jackson socks.
All right, hold on. Anthony, here's that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that has to do the extra Russian Christmas thing. Every year, this girl in my school, an elementary school, would come in traditional Ukrainian garb and do a report on the Ukrainian Christmas.
Oh, brother.
And it sounded like a nightmare. I had to say to her, finally, by third grade, you're here now. Get the good stuff.
Put on some pajamas Christmas morning. Drop the lederhosen, honey.
All right, on the instant feedback, Dan from Hoboken tells us that his family gets the pickle present, which is scary.
Bet.
It's sad. His mom hides the pickle ornament on the tray Christmas Eve, and whoever finds it gets a little present. I think it's a Scandinavian tradition.
I think it's an idiot's tradition.
What do you get, a sandwich on rye if you find it?
You get the coleslaw to go with it.
I remember in Scandinavia, we look for the pickle.
That was started by a bad uncle.
And some kid's like, Gray, promise me I'm getting video games this year. I'll do the pickle thing, but please, I want an Xbox. Hey, here's Jeanette. Jeanette, you're on a Fez.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Every year before we open our gifts, we always have to go outside and shoot shotguns into the air.
What?
They own Christmas.
My family's from North Carolina.
Right. That's
Yeah.
no reason to go on like that. Now, see, my dad does that at midnight on New Year's Eve. He shoots the shotgun. Why you would shoot it on the day that the Lord was born is beyond me.
You gotta wake the baby.
You know it can't go back that far. Only 100 years or so, tops. And even then, I don't think they were going to waste, musket powder.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think of this one, Joe?
Yeah.
All right, everybody's in the finals so far. Here's,
It's getting crowded
I
in
know.
there. Please, make room.
here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on our Run of Fez.
Hi,
What's up,
Jeff.
boys?
Hey, buddy.
My parents had this sick tradition that all year they would remind me that if we were bad and if we had potty mouth, that Santa would drop a bar of soap into our stocking. Needless to say, I got a bar of soap every year
For having a potty mouth.
for having a potty mouth
What an awful mom.
and all the bad things that I did.
What do you think, Joe?
He's not getting a Palm Pilot for Christmas.
For having a potty mouth.
You dirty MFer. Here's Andy. Andy, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Andy.
Fellas, how you doing?
Buddy.
My mom used to make a birthday cake, and we had to sing Happy Birthday to Jesus.
Happy birthday to Jesus. Now, happy birthday. Is it a surprise party this year? Happy birthday, Mr. Lord and Savior. Who's going to get 2001 spanks?
How old are you?
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, he's in.
That's so embarrassing.
That reminds me, I always do this at home because we go to the candlelight service Christmas Eve at church, and I'll take my offering in a birthday card and write Happy Birthday Jesus on it and put it in the collection plate.
That's kind of sweet.
And to drive my brother nuts.
Because you can't do that. You can't put that in the collection plate.
They never know who it's coming from?
No, They know some ass does it every year.
What a moron. Hey, Jessica, you're on Run of Fez.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Yeah.
My parents used to hide a pickle and a potato in the tree. My dad's German, and the German used to hide pickles in the tree, and you'd get a gift. And my mom's Irish, so they just made that one up and put a little glass potato in the tree, and whoever found that would get another gift.
A glass potato?
It's not Easter egg hunting where you have to go reaching and trying to find that thing.
But you get a special gift.
It
It's all
signifies
about the extra gift.
it signifies the wise men searching for the newborn king.
No, it signifies the potato in the Irish.
And apparently the pickle symbolizes
I'm
our
sorry.
God.
Joe says no.
All right.
When you cheap vegetables.
I feel bad.
Where do you find a glass potato to hang? Excuse me, here at the ornament store.
The Beatles showed up with a glass onion, but that won't do. We gotta have a glass potato. Serge, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, my mom used to bust out with the hot tamales and tortillas. And some
Serge is having a traditional Mexican Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Nobody else in my block had them, so.
What do you think, hot tamales Christmas Eve?
Nah.
No, sorry, buddy.
All right, peace.
Peace. Here's Izzy. Izzy, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Izzy.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, I checked this out. The tradition for New Year's Eve, like 12 seconds before the year's over, we have to eat 12 grapes and think of like 12 wishes for like each month. But like sometimes you miss a second and like end up like shoving like grapes into your throat. It's pretty gay.
Yeah, I think I heard of that one before. No, that's for New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking Christmas now, Izzy.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Call us back on the 30th.
So hold on to your grapes. For a couple more weeks.
There was one I heard of for New Year's Eve where you're supposed to throw pennies out the door, and then you have, which means money's coming your way, and then you have to walk out your door holding luggage, which means you have a year of travel.
Ah.
People around the world do wacky things. Hey, Kathy, you're on Run Fez.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
What can we do for you, Kathy?
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I'm Italian, and the tradition on Christmas Eve is 12 different types of fish.
So that other guy was off by 5. Now,
No.
why 12? One for each
12
month?
because it's supposed to be for the apostles and for Jesus Christ, so you have to have 12 types of fish.
That would have been
Christmas Eve.
13 then.
Yeah, someone's starving.
The Judas fish they're
And
eliminating.
Are you telling me that 2 of the apostles don't like flounder, and they got to keep moving on?
Well, you know how God is with the fish thing. You know, the fish and the bread. So I guess that's the reason why.
All right, no.
You know how God
That's
is,
a different
Ronnie.
thing.
He's nuts about his fish. He's crazy
Jesus
when
did
it
one
comes to
thing.
that.
Jesus did one thing. It don't make him Aquaman. Obsessed with fish. All right, thanks, Kathy.
5 golden trout.
You know how God is. He loves his fish.
He's crazy for it.
He drives me crazy every year.
Every year with the fish.
I don't know, honey, it's this bad year. All we can afford is 9 types of fish.
That should be plenty for anyone.
Perhaps we can have the 3 sisters stand with the pants down for the remaining 3 types of fish. Sarah, you're on Run Fez.
Sarah.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I got a good one. My grandmother takes walnut shells and takes all the walnuts out of them and glues pennies inside the shells, glues the shells back together, and in one of them there's a quarter. Whoever finds the quarter, their gift is all of the walnuts that she took out of the shells. And that's what we get for Christmas. Either a shell with a penny in it or a bag full of walnuts.
What a nightmare for a kid.
Do you realize that the gift isn't worth the work?
Yeah.
Now,
the best part about it is we still get it. That's still our gift.
What's her ethnic background? That she would do this?
Well,
Cheap?
I'm from the Midwest, and she's actually from Holland. She's Dutch.
All right, so maybe it's like a Holland thing or something, a Dutch?
I don't know.
Or maybe she's a crazy old senile lady.
She wears nutshells as her wooden shoes, Ronnie.
That might be it. She's crazy.
She does this to me. I'm holding her down and gluing the nutshells to her eyelids.
What do you think of Sarah? That's that's literally a nutty thing to do every year. Matt, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Did you win your nuts?
Yeah, guys.
Hi, Matt.
I have another fish one. My mom is Norwegian, and every year on Christmas Eve, the big fish pudding. Throw cod in the Cuisinart.
Oh!
I'm freaking out, man.
And they served it cold. Her and her fat sisters would just eat this stuff. And the rest of the family looked in disgust. It was nasty.
So you could combine all 12 kinds of fish into one delicious fish pudding.
Exactly.
Boy, there no bananas?
No, I don't know if bananas. I don't know what else is in there.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, that's sick.
Fish pudding is very, very sick. Hey,
that was Joe's sister's nickname in high school.
Anthony, you're on Run and Fez.
Fish pudding.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey, Anthony.
My uncle used to read, well, he still does. He reads Twas the Night Before Christmas right after dinner on Christmas Eve. And it has to be dead silent, otherwise he starts over again.
What a pain in the ass.
And if it's not dead silent,
As
he'll
I
remove
read
you.
Who's your father, Clark Griswold?
'Twas the night before Christmas. I will be playing all the characters.
Silence, please!
Did someone smirk?
No.
Why do you sit there and take this, Anthony?
I can hardly hear you actually on my cell phone.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to do it. What do you
It's
think?
Mother and a kerchief, and me and Micah.
Sorry, Anthony, we think you ought to stand up to him.
Beat him with the book.
Hey, let's take a quick break. We come back, we'll give out the Palm M500 handheld. That's got the new version, OS version, of course, 4.0 software, just in time for the holidays.
Log on to palm.com for more purchasing information about the new Palm M500 handheld. 877-692-1027.
Or on a Fez.
Ron and Fez. Frequency. 1027 WNEW.
Just in time for the holidays, we're Ron and Fez. We got a Palm M500 handheld to give out. Just check it in with some of those traditions that your family has for the holidays that the other families don't.
These Palm M500 handhelds are great presents too, Fuzzy.
Yeah, it's the new OS version, 4.0 software included. Check them all out online at palm.com.
All right, Jesse, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing?
Jesse.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, my family didn't really believe in the traditional tree toppers.
Yeah.
So, we had this old owl, this fake owl on the outside of our house to scare away the pigeons, you know.
Sure.
But it wasn't really doing anything, so we decided to bring it inside and stick that on the top of our tree.
Oh, so you put an owl
Yeah,
on the
we
top
just,
of
you
your
know,
tree.
stick it on top of the branches, and that's what we topped
Our
our
phone
tree with.
screener.
How woodsy?
Our phone screener has put up. He put arrow in the top of his tree.
that
I
would be
assumed
an
you were
owl.
Native American.
All right, so you put the Christmas owl up there.
Yeah, and
What do you think
also-
of- That's just stupid.
My parents were also Jewish, but, you know, us kids wanted to celebrate Christmas, so we kind of had to compromise, and
You put a
we put
yarmulke
little
on the owl?
menorahs on the tree as ornaments, and
Oh,
our
that's
dinner
sweet.
was a traditional matzo ball soup. That was our
Nice.
Christmas dinner.
I'll tell you something, Jesse. I always wish I had your girl.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think, Joe? No?
No.
All right, sorry, buddy.
Sorry. If it had been an arrow, maybe. Maybe.
Hey, Chuck, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Chuck.
My Christmas, or Christmas Eve actually, my father would get, all my uncles and everything would be over, and my father would get us, I had three brothers, there's four of us, and we'd have boxing matches in our basement.
What?
My father would put gloves on us, and I can't even tell you how young we were when we started doing this.
Oh, Chuck, you were celebrating Festivus.
Now in honor of the poor baby,
we'd end up...
king of the Jews, the four brothers will punch each other senseless.
And we'd all have bruises and fat lips the next morning.
What, did you get a chance to become Christmas champion?
No, I asked my father years later why would we do this? And he said, oh, well, because they get such a hangover watching us and laughing and drinking and smoking that they didn't want us to wake us up early. So he thought this would wear us out so we wouldn't get up at like dawn to open up the presents.
You think any reason he wants to come up with other than just seeing his kids punch
Right, basically it was human cockfighting.
That's a good one, Chuck. What do you think, Joe?
That one's in.
All right, hold on, buddy.
They're asking Chuck why he's not having dessert at Thanksgiving. Well, he's in training.
Who was that, Chuck Wepner?
It's the Bayonne Bleeder talking about his wonderful Christmas of every year. Here's Nicole. Nicole, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Ron and Fez. My grandma is Italian, and we're not allowed to eat meat, but we eat snails.
You eat snails?
Yes.
Right out of the street,
is that
Ronnie.
she harvests them, and she puts them in the bathtub, and then she feeds them so that they're pure. And then she makes pasta with the sauce, and she puts the snails in there. And after we eat the snails, we suck them out of the shells, we spring them, and we put them around the Christmas tree, and then we all sing in Italian.
What do you
What a
think?
nightmare.
Excuse me?
And Fezzi, in Italian, this means thank you for these snails. They were delicious. We took baths with them, and then we hang them on the trees.
They sing
But it sounds pretty in Italian. You gotta hear it in Italian. It sounds so much prettier.
They sing All Snail the Newborn King.
Yeah, my grandma is very traditional with that. And she also makes eel. She goes down to Newark, and she gets the live eel, and she also feeds it and makes it pure, and then we eat the eel.
And then you take the skin and wear it as a hat?
I want
Those
you
are
to
their stockings.
hey, Nicole, go to your grandmother and say two things. Fish store. See if she catches on.
Nicole,
you don't have to sit there and put them in a bathtub.
Nicole, how long is the bathtub tied up where the family's going filthy dirty while she's raising their snail farm?
Well, they have 2 bathrooms. They have a shower and then they have a tub. So.
Nice, I'm living well in the new country.
That snail saw me naked.
Why not just put the snails in the bidet?
What do you think,
Joe?
Joe?
Do that next time.
Yeah, that's in.
All right, Snail Lady's in, okay?
All right, you're in the finals, Snail Lady.
Right, here's someone named Swiss Miss. Swiss Miss, you're on Fez.
Let me guess, hot chocolate at Christmas?
No, not exactly. What my father used to do was give us wooden shoes, and we'd put them out on the front porch at night, and they would put, like, oranges and nuts in the shoes. So Christmas morning we'd wake up, and that was like that was supposed to be the big treat, the big surprise. With
I'd be surprised, too, if my dad's nuts were in his shoes.
I got nuts in my shoes.
He's sick, Bessie. Leave him alone. The man is ill. His nuts are in his shoes. Your nuts are in your shoes.
No.
Your nuts have been in your shoes for years.
I'll knock your hat off.
What do you think, Joe? Nuts in the shoes.
Yeah, her and a cheap dad are in.
All right, there you go.
You know, you shouldn't have to fish any sort of treats out of any kind of shoes. Gah. 877-692-1027. Your weird family tradition for a Palm M500 handheld.
Hey, Frank, you're on Fez.
Hi,
Hey,
Frank.
Fez, how are you?
Good.
We had a take down a tree tradition. On January 6th is when you take down a tree, by the way. That's the official date. My mother insisted, you know how you put the ornaments away and everything else?
Yeah.
We used to put tinsel up on our trees. You know
Right.
that silver tinsel? My mother insisted that we take the tinsel down because it was a family heirloom. We had to reuse it year after year.
Cheap.
We had to take it down string by string.
Oh, that's
It
cheap.
used to take us 10 times as long to take the tree down as it would to put it up. And I swear to you, I went down for Christmas last year to visit my mom in Florida. I swear she still has tinsel that she bought in 1960.
Well, 1960, that's traditional. Beautiful old tinsel.
You know, it's bad enough everyone has that person that insists on decorating it with one strand of tinsel at a time.
Well, that's the only way you can.
Or else you get the glops.
Yeah, it's too clumpy. I don't like clumpy stuff either.
But the nice thing is you get to chuck the whole tree out if it's a real one, tinsel and all.
Well, no, it was a real tree, so we had to take down every single string, and we couldn't do glops when we put them on, by the way.
No, of
glops
course
are
not.
out of the question.
No, everyone's against that.
So string by string up and string by string down.
Joe, what do you think about the cheap family?
Yeah, I had a family member that did that too, so he's in.
All right, hold on.
You might be related. Was it the Lipinskis?
Well, on that side, kind of.
Hey,
They cut down the tree with a skate blade every year. It's so nice.
Sure, you're on Fez. You should not be
when we were
ashamed.
kids, my parents would have a family friend come to our house dressed as Santa, except this family friend was blind. And he'd have to be let in, and he would grope around for me and my sister. We were scared to death.
Grab me your little ponies.
Oh, my. If this wasn't bad enough, there was the year this blind Santa stepped on my Christmas kitten and killed it.
No way.
Yes.
I hate you, Blind Santa. I hate you.
Now, if we didn't hate him enough, we sure hated him then.
You know, this blind Santa comes in, he's playing a harmonica. Let me tell you something called Christmas blues.
Blind lemon.
Big fat man. Come from the North Pole.
It's cold outside. I brought you a mitten. I come indoors and step on your kitten. I'm blind Santa, and I got the blind Santa blues.
What do you think, Blind Santa? That's a good one.
That's it.
All right. Here's Greg. Greg, you're on Fez.
Hey, Greg.
Ron Fez.
Yeah, buddy.
How you doing?
Go.
We used to play Fight Club with me and my cousins back when we were young, and we used to go in the basement, ante up a toy each, and then we used to line up and take turns taking punches with each other, and whoever could withstand to the end could collect all the toys and keep them.
How awful. Twas the fight before Christmas.
I like that. That's cute. What do you think, Joe?
It's in.
I like Fight Club Christmas. I like the fact, now I'm literally starting to feel better about myself.
I know your white cotton tree doesn't seem so odd.
It's not white cotton, but it is, but we've never called it that. That sounds too much like underwear hanging up.
You're afraid of the loom tree.
Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy, you're on Fez.
Hi, Jimmy.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, buddy.
This was pretty bad, actually.
Buddy.
On Christmas, Mother used to invite my family, all my aunts and uncles,
And she used to make myself and my two brothers dress up as the 3 wise men and distribute the presents to the whole family.
What's this? Myrrh again this year?
Well, look at these 3 little wise men. They're adorable.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That is humiliating.
It's not as bad as Blind Santa, but it's up there. What do you think, Joe?
It's in there.
All right, hold on, buddy.
Another one for the finals.
Here is Jennifer. Jennifer, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey,
How you doing, hon?
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi.
Yeah.
I don't know if this really counts as a tradition, but my parents wouldn't let us go downstairs until they woke up on Christmas morning, so they put my coloring books at the top of the stairs. So my brothers and my sister, I'm the youngest, and they were impatient, so they'd throw me down the stairs so that I'd cry and my parents would wake up.
They would literally push you down the steps.
Yeah.
Now, just so everybody could go down together.
Well,
that was the whole big
no.
thing. You better not go down there without me and start opening stuff.
Okay, drag your unconscious little sister out of the living room. It's time to open gifts.
What do you think, Joe?
No, that stunk.
Sorry, honey.
All right.
I liked it a lot. Hey, John.
Another bad Christmas for her.
It's another step. John, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, my oldest brother, one time when he was very young, was sitting on Santa Claus' lap, and he completely panicked, and he asked for a car door. So, he's received several car doors, and sometimes it's just a model car door, but he has some car doors in his garage from years ago.
That's hysterical. I don't know, car door. Hey, how do my car door?
He just completely panicked.
Do you remember how scary it would be when Santa asked, what do you want? And you'd be just like, toys. Right. And so no matter what happened, as soon as you left, you went, damn it.
Yeah.
I want to get back there.
The complete brain freeze.
Right.
You couldn't remember.
He's completely sick of receiving them.
Just a choke.
What do you think of car door Santa here?
That one's in.
Yeah. All right, hold on. You're in, okay?
That's a nice tradition.
We'll take a couple more of these. Here's Charlie. Charlie, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Charlie.
He got a Charlie in the box.
No, all I want is a Red Ryder BB gun with a compass in the stock and a thing that tells time.
Oh, you shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Hey, when I was a kid, tradition in the house, traditional meal for Christmas Eve was carp. And the only place to catch carp in the wintertime was up next to the nuclear power plant. So we used to have, all but glow-in-the-dark fish for Christmas dinner.
You're kidding me. First of all, who would eat carp to begin with? Only certain
my parents, my freak parents.
I mean, carp is a really, really dirty fish.
Yeah, I mean, that fish had so much mercury in it that, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Ew. I mean, even if it wasn't near the nukes, Fezzy, it's a very, very dirty,
still gross,
muddy fish. And that's one of those fish like that Italian lady would put it in the tub and let it run clear water through itself because they're down in the crap and the mud all the time. So it tastes like dirt if you eat one. But he's getting it that night on Christmas Eve next to a nuke plant.
Yep. Bring it home, gut it, right on the table, right in front of me, and then feed it to us.
I'd have sex with it before I ate it.
Pretty much, yeah. It'd be a better idea. I'd have sex with it before I ate it, too, yeah.
And I say that about most women. All right, what do you think, Joe?
No good.
All right, sorry, my friend.
All right, peace.
I liked it a lot. Here's Gina. Gina, you're on Run of Fez. Hi, Gina.
Hi, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Listen, my story is a little similar to the wooden shoe thing, except it's only half the story. It's a Dutch tradition.
There's also wooden socks.
Yeah, well, no, it's called Sinterklaas, and Sinterklaas is the Dutch Santa. And if you were good, Santa would put, the oranges and walnuts in your shoes. But if you were bad, Santa had an assistant, and his name, I swear to you, is Schwarze Pete. And if you were bad,
that's a lie.
I swear to you.
Oh, wait, hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second.
White people are so scared of black people.
Thank you very much.
If you go to Holland, all of the Christmas decorations are this big white Sinterklaas with his black assistant, Schwarze Pete. So if you were bad, you didn't get any treats in your shoes, and Schwarze Pete would sneak into your bedroom and beat you. So we would go to bed at night terrified that Schwarze Pete was going to come and kill us.
Do you realize this is your own parents' prejudice? They've worked into a family tradition for you.
You want Spots of Pete to come in here?
Hey,
He'll rape you, honey.
That's pretty bad.
I never heard of this before.
I swear to you. Spots of Pete.
Should we maybe
Santa
Al?
Claus on here now. He ain't going to help you.
Al, get us a
Where's
number.
Santa Claus?
Al, get us a number in Holland. Get us a hotel or something.
Ask him for Schwartz of Pete. They'll tell you all about him.
I'm sure he's checked in under that name.
That's what they call him.
All
He's
right.
Black Peter.
All right, hold on, okay?
Okay.
His big Black Peter is not going to get you. You want his Black Peter here?
It's a little different when you're like 6 years old.
I bet. And it's even more exciting, huh?
Oh, Jesus.
All right, hold on, Gina, because I want this story backed up. Spots of Pete. I've never heard this before in my life.
It's horrible.
All right, let's take one more call. Hey, Marianne. Marianne, you're on Ron and Fez? Hi, Marianne.
Yes.
Yeah, what can we do for you?
Oh, my grandfather used to raise chickens and rabbits, and when my mom was small and she was bad, they used to say Santa Claus is going to bring you coal and chicken feet, and they used to be real chicken feet, and you'd find them in your stocking.
Gross.
Isn't it?
A chicken's lopped off leg. No.
Well, they ate the chicken.
All right. He says no, I'm sorry. All right, let me just take Tim and then we'll move on. Hey, Tim, you're on Ron and Fez? Hi, Tim.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, buddy?
I have this weird thing my family used to do called Thanksmas. This goes back as far as I can remember.
Thanksmas.
Thanksmas. My grandparents used to go away for the holidays to Florida, and they left right after Election Day. So what we would do is to celebrate the holidays with them right before Election Day, like late October. We would get together and have Thanksmas, big turkey, feast and dinner, all that, with a Christmas celebration.
What you doing Christmas?
We did Christmas just without Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay.
The funny thing is that I had no idea that Thanksmas wasn't a real holiday. So I would tell the kids at school I had Thanksmas this weekend, and I would get laughed at, having no idea why.
What'd you get for Thanksmas? What the hell are you talking about?
It would just be like a regular Christmas thing, just because Grandma and Grandpa were home and
it was always before Election Day.
Oh, well, they would vote and they would leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
what I really want this year is for Dewey to defeat Truman. That's all I want this Thanksmas.
Thanksmas.
I thought it was for real. I had no idea. And we stopped doing this only a few years ago when my grandfather died. So I thought it was real all along. Who wouldn't have known?
We'll send it over to the judge, Joe Pooh.
That's in the finals.
All right, Joe. You gotta come up with one. You need a commercial break, and then you can think it over.
A winner.
Okay.
Sit there and we'll see if you can't get that little pea brain of yours come up with something.
877-692-1027.
I had no idea people got presents. I got a mozzarella sandwich. What are these guests they keep talking about? It all sounds weird to me.
Fuzzy, somebody sent us food. Let's check on that, though.
All right, we will do that. And, Hawk, you know what I would love for Christmas?
Water! Water!
Well, we're about to go into break here. Let somebody else run down for you, Hawk.
All
So
right.
somebody can wake Al up. I asked him to call Holland 10 minutes ago. And, he's
Check
out,
on Schwartz of Pete.
He's out there right now going, if that Joe Pooh steps up and pulls me, I'll kick his ass in. I will kick his ass.
Joe Pooh will award a Palm M500 handheld when we come back.
You're listening to 102.7 WNEW. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, 102.7 WNEW.
We're Ron and Fez, 877-692-1027.
Hey, Dawn. Dawn, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Dawn.
Hello, how are you?
Good, Dawn. What can we do for you tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to verify the Santa Claus story. I was in Amsterdam last Christmas time,
Yeah.
and it's true, there is a Black Peter.
Well, what do they call him?
They call him Schwartz of Peter.
I find this hard to believe. Now, somebody wrote me, Fezzy, on the instant feedback. They said it's true. Don and Mike already did this show.
Oh.
Which would be interesting, Don and Mike doing a topic before us.
Spy report. Spy report. Spy report.
Well, it's a true story. Actually, they have a parade. Sinterklaas comes in by boat from Spain, and they have a parade down the main street in Amsterdam. And the story with Black Peter, actually, they carry bags, and if you're bad, they take you away in the bags.
It's awful. So he is a legitimate bad guy
Yes, he is.
in Dutch folklore.
Yes. And at the parade, my husband and I were there in Amsterdam, and we were watching them rappel out of a bell tower. So there's these white guys that are in blackface, dressed up like little elves, and they're rappelling down off of the bell tower carrying bags attached to their waists.
It's awful.
They are absolutely so high in Amsterdam. They
Yes.
don't know what they're doing.
They have the traditional space cakes every year of eating hashish. The children would gather around.
Little gingerbread hashmen.
All right, thanks, Don.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I gave Al a thing to call a number in Holland. How long ago? 20 minutes?
Sure.
He hasn't moved yet. Until the number shows up on the back of Billy's head. Then he can read it. Joe Poo, it's time for you to pick a winner for the Palm M500 handheld.
Ready, Joe Poo?
I'm ready. Cheryl, with the blind Santa story, who stepped on a kitten and killed it.
Every year visited by a blind Santa. One horrible year, comes stumbling in, steps on a present kitten, a gift kitten, crushes it. All right, you win the Palm M500 handheld with the new OS version 4.0 software just in time for the holidays. Remember, log on to palm.com for more purchasing information. Hope it makes up for the kitty.
It's going to be a nice little Christmas for somebody with that Palm M500 Fez.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a great gift.
I like to get something like that.
So you're welcome if you want it. And, of course, we're going to have more this week, too.
It's definitely better than a dead kitten in a box.
Again.
All right, Al tells me he has the number now.
Oh, okay.
Dial that up, Al.
We will call Holland, call the Netherlands.
We have to let them know we're on the air. Is that the gimmick?
Yeah.
Do we have to be on the air when we say that, or it has to be off the air?
Oh, you can do on the air.
All right, great. Thank you. What is this place we're calling?
It's a Marriott.
Marriott in where?
In the Netherlands, Amsterdam.
Ah, the Amsterdam ring.
There it is.
Hash.
Unmistakable.
Hash. Hash.
This is an emergency broadcast meeting.
Okay, still ringing. Very busy at the Amsterdam Marriott.
Give that to Darla. Give that to Billy.
Ronnie, I don't think there's room at the inn for us.
There isn't. Way to go, Al.
We try one more time.
Great. We're already bored. Why do we need the rings on the air? Why can't you do this off the air so we're all not bored with it?
I'm afraid they'll hang up on me when they...
Why would they hang up?
Other people do.
Because I'm not booking no room or anything.
Just say, hold for one moment. He likes to pretend that he's Letterman. No wonder Opie hates you. No wonder Opie despises you.
All right, now we're getting the double weird ring. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Al. That was great.
Maybe you're calling the Hanoi Hilton that we asked for a month ago.
All right, great.
Okay, good.
Billy, dial up that other number for us. So there you go. That's Al Dukes.
I hope you enjoyed it. Another Al Dukes success story.
Now you can take the rest of the night off, Al, and write a report to Jeremy that you saw Joe Poo smoking in a non-smoking designated area.
Which Schmatcha Peep?
You were not.
That'd be so cool.
Ain't so.
Me and my best friend Schmatcha Pete. He's the best to Bayonne.
A lot of people like Santa Claus. My favorite's always been Schwartz Pete.
Hideous tradition. Maybe we'll bomb them next. 877-692-1027 is the toll-free phone number.
Let Gina go. Hey, Joe, you're on our Run of Fez.
Hey, Joe.
Those callers that were talking about Holland, I'm here to back it up, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it's not Schwarze because that's the German word. It's called Zwart with a Z. That's how they pronounce the black.
How do you say it?
Zwart. Z-W-A-R-T.
Okay.
And not only that, how you're talking that the people are so high over there, because the people are, they have white people with blackface, so the colored people over there, they say it's discrimination. They want that job because they're the real McCoy and not the white people that are dressed up.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Hey, Fezzy, look who's on the line here. It's our buddy Darlene.
Oh,
here. Hey, Darlene.
Hey.
Hi, honey. What are you up to?
Hey, chicken. I'm back home. I just wanted to call and say thank you for having us last week.
You back in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 87 degrees.
Wow, really?
Nice.
And that's just in your pants.
Yes, I know.
That's hot.
And also humid today.
So hot and humid. But I wanted to say thank you. I tried to call yesterday when I was flying home, but I didn't get through, so.
Yeah, I thought you and Fezzy were going to do some shopping or something.
Well, here's the deal. I lost his number.
Oh, nice.
Here, write it down. It's 657.
Stop it. Stop it now.
So you can get plenty of Christmas calls this year, Fezzy.
I don't want Christmas calls.
Darling, what are you doing
What's the Beetle call?
What are you doing for Christmas this year? Bikers again?
Yeah, I'll do the bikers.
Yeah.
It's traditional.
It's December, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you're family Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have 12 different types of fishes on Christmas Eve?
Did I have 12 type of fishes?
Yeah, people were telling us the Italian tradition is the 12 different types of fish.
On Christmas Eve.
Well, I used to, we really didn't do Christmas as much as we did Easter, and it was like an 8-course meal.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So you got to wait, really.
That was 8 different kinds of lamb.
8 different kinds of lamb, exactly.
Every year she would pray that Spots and Pete would climb in her window. Please, man.
That's not funny.
Darlene talking about the different kinds of fish. Barbecue shrimp.
Barbecue shrimp.
Scampi. Shrimp soup. Shrimp sandwich.
Listen how cute Darlene sounds on the phone. You sound like you're wearing G-string panties.
Really? I'm actually wearing my NYPD shirt that I brought.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
Little tank top. I'm all excited.
Okay, honey.
I bet.
We'll see you next time you come through.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye, chicken.
Bye.
Bye, Darlene.
She's so cute.
She's nice. She's good people.
Her name is Darlene, actually. D-A-R Lynn.
Right.
Darlene.
Your first name is Dar. D-A-R. Not since caveman days has anyone been named Dar.
Today, Fuzzy, I don't know whether you were up early to see the president at 8:47 this morning.
Right. I did see a replay of him.
Yeah. He has all the radio stations around the world to all play either our national anthem or theirs, just the show unity. I quick put on NEW. No. We were doing some kind of phone contest.
Yeah.
So I felt,
I figured that last night that would happen.
Right. So, but, I can't believe the 3 months has gone by. We were talking about this tonight. We were actually just going to check back in from everybody. If you remember listening to this show 3 months ago, all we really did was open up the phones for that whole first week, take phone calls, and it's hard to imagine. We went back and listened to some of the stuff, how in shock we all were 3 months ago.
Yeah, some of the just horrific phone calls that we were getting in all that week. We kind of described it last night. We stayed on the air extra hours, extra time, and talked to anyone who just felt like they needed to talk. Right. And people just pouring their hearts out. One very, very sad, long week.
Well, here's the weird thing, Fez. You remember how we all said life has changed now? We'll never go back. Do you think that that's true now, 3 months later?
We are working our way back.
I don't know. I think that we're pretty much back, and maybe, I don't want to be, too cynical about it, but it may be too far back. You know what I mean? Maybe we went back to exactly the kind of people we were before the tragedy.
I know everyone was talking about change then. The word went out, act normal, do your normal things. And it got normal a lot faster than you would have expected it to.
Yeah, and I mean, the president has been getting a lot of, and successful, feedback from the public for going after this Bin Laden. I still don't think he's the only one involved in the whole thing. Just on a personal note, there's a lot of other places I think we should be at right now, and maybe he's going to do it one at a time. I don't know at this point. But I know life did not change as much as it felt like it was going to change that week.
It was so weird, and you just felt like this is never going to go away. It was awful. I remember I talked about it last night. That first panic attack I had that first weekend after.
Yeah.
Laying in bed late at night on a weekend and thinking, I can't escape this. I can't get away from this. It'll never go away.
That's how I've always felt being your partner.
What?
And no matter how many times I try. But I know what you're saying, and I think for a long time...
it was a weird, almost claustrophobic feeling.
Right.
Of you're surrounded by this.
And now it's something that I kind of feel like most of us have, already put behind us. Mm-hmm. Now remember the guy who was the real pro-American guy on the show, a real old pro-New York, and was wearing the shirts all the time, Billy Staples.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first one of us to kind of be off the bandwagon.
Yeah, ran his gauntlet of emotions really quick.
Yeah.
Stepped out of his shock faster than anyone else, right into ultra-patriotism and nationalism, and then got frustrated faster than anyone with the lack of action.
Now, the weird thing is, out of everybody, Billy always made me feel good because I'd be like, okay, I feel nutty, and I feel like I'm in shock, but I know he's wackier than me right now.
Yeah, at least I'm not that guy.
Right.
With the top hat on.
So I could somehow act like, well, I got to keep it together so Billy will be okay. Because he's, going to end up doing something stupid.
Right.
He's digging foxholes. He had, was walking everywhere with a huge flag.
Then, of course, there was the episode where he thought he had the anthrax.
Yeah.
So he jumped into that faster than anyone.
And now nobody talks about anthrax anymore.
No.
That's off the front page. Hey, Joey. Joey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Joey.
How are you?
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm happy that everybody's sort of like getting back to normal, but then I'm a little upset that everybody's got this whole forgetfulness thing going on, and the flags are off the cars, and the patrioticness is disappearing every day more and more.
Yeah, I definitely, I still see flags out there. You don't see as many as you did 2.5 months ago, that's for sure.
A lot of flags down, Christmas decorations up. When the holidays are over, do you think the flags will go back up? I doubt it.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how people are going to feel about it, but it does feel more and more like we're cut off from that feeling that we thought we would never lose 3 months ago.
When it felt so inescapable.
Right.
Now it seems like we found a way through it.
Yeah. And
or at least feel that way.
I know when we all, people that do the kind of radio shows that we do, we were all looking at each other for that week going, I wonder if we'll ever be able to do comedy again. It doesn't feel like it. And then finally people started saying, why don't you try to be a little funnier, But remember, O&A, how long did it take for them to start bringing naked chicks back to the show?
Right.
It must have been 2 months.
Yeah.
Before anyone really felt like having a naked woman around was appropriate fun.
Yeah, nothing seemed appropriate.
Right, exactly.
Other than just maybe talking to people.
Yeah.
Nothing seemed appropriate. And there was that feeling on the streets of New York where you felt like you could walk up to any two people, any two strangers talking, you could immediately join their conversation because you knew what it was about.
Right. Now, also, yeah, exactly. You didn't know what it was about. And whenever you saw a cop or a fireman, you were either thanking them or just looking at them.
Yeah.
It was pretty heartbreaking at the time. Here's Juan. Juan, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, Juan.
Hello?
Yeah.
What can we do for you, Juan?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
In light of the situation, the day after the 12th, I work in retail. I work at Old Navy, and I didn't want to go to work because I was devastated. I could see the whole thing, from my house. And there were people shopping and just going about their business like nothing ever happened. And it just really upset me. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to like yell at these customers or kick them or something to wake them up in light of the situation. I thought the stores were going to be closed and everything. I didn't think we'd have to work the day after.
Well, also remember that the president and really the mayor were saying right away, please go out and shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or else they win. That was the only thing that they ever really said to us.
And told everyone, go back to work.
Yeah.
I know, but I think just the day after was a little bit too soon. I mean, you got to give it a little time for people to mourn.
I agree with you there, Juan. Everybody kind of mourned in a different way. But it was very, very bizarre to think that we were all in that point where you would be thinking, is it okay to go back to selling pants? You know what I mean? You were asking yourself, no matter what was in your life at the time, should I be doing this?
That's how trivial everything else seemed.
Yeah.
Compared.
All right. Thank you, Juan.
Yeah. Later.
Now, we're going to play some of the phone calls and stuff that we took that first week. We had Rory going through and picking some of them. Hey, Frank, you're on Round of Fez.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What can we do for you tonight, Frank?
You pretty much got to say, show must go on. You know, no one's ever going to forget what happened September 11th, but everybody has responsibilities. They have to go to work. You know, you still got to pay your bills, you know?
I agree with you, Frank. I think the show's got to go on. But does it have to go on the same way? Does it have to go on being the same show? Is there any way for us to actually come out of this thing a little better and a little stronger and a little smarter? Because I don't, personally see it, Fez. Mm-hmm. I know everybody's acting like, okay, we're beating the Taliban. I don't know what that means over the whole situation. I don't know if the CIA's gotten better or stronger. I don't know if our borders are anymore or why we sit here tonight 3 months later. Remember how much time they took between attacks, 6 years?
Right, yeah.
They're fine lying back, these bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, 6 years from now, anything could happen again.
All right, thank you very much, Frank.
All right, guys, take it easy.
That's it. So we'll play some of this stuff tonight. Some of it's pretty interesting because it was 3 months ago today.
Yeah, today's December 11th. Of course, September 11th was the attacks. And we have some of the stuff that the people were calling in with that very night.
Right. Here's Anthony. Anthony, you're on Round of Fez.
Hey, Anthony.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
I remember that week. Man, I tell you, it was my best friend's wedding. I was the best man. You got to come up with a toast, and you know what I mean? You don't want to get too sappy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You can't make fun of it. You know what I mean? It was just all eerie. I remember, being from Newark, not having any planes over the area, it was crazy, you know what I mean? It was like unlike anything I've ever seen. And the best part about it was, in true Ron and Fez fashion, you guys would always have, shot, radio, whatever, but you kept it, you kept the comedy going in a sense, you know what I mean? Ripping out Dukes or whatever. It was always something there.
Right.
And you kept everybody's head up too, you know what I mean? And going back, I said to mention the same thing. Back at that time, I called about the airport, mentioned the same thing, and just wanted you guys, you guys did a great thing and make some great radio, man. All the best in the future, brother.
All right, thank you very much, my friend. Thanks, Anthony. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Round of Fez. How you doing, buddy? Hi, Steve.
The fact that you're talking about September 11th, just to me, doesn't mean that the show has gone on. I mean, in some ways, I think many people have changed. In some ways, people haven't changed. But the fact that you're talking about it today does make a difference.
Well, I think it does. We debated on ever even going back to this topic again because it's out of context for what we really do in our life. But I just wish that there was some way of taking this type of thing and what we all normally do. And I mean for all of us, no matter what your job is. And not forgetting what the hell happened here that day.
Right. I think that's what you're doing. I think, all of us in our own ways are probably doing it. I know that, this Christmas, we're going to at least, support the local firehouse and spend time there with them.
Yeah. All right, good point, Steve. That's actually a great idea. to do something for those guys around that time of year. Hey, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take your calls, and we'll play you some of the stuff that all happened that first week. 877-692-1027. It is 3 months today since September 11th.
We're Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez. 1027 WNEW.
The second that I heard the noise, I knew a disaster was about to happen. I dove away from the window. As soon as the explosion hit, I looked right back at it. The fire and smoke was just beginning to billow. Within 10 seconds, the ball of fire had visually engulfed the whole north side, the whole upper north side of the tower.
And then we saw smoke coming out. Everybody started running out, and we saw the crane on the other side of the building, and there was smoke everywhere. People were jumping out the windows. Over there, they're jumping out the windows, I guess, because they're trying to save themselves. I don't know.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Right. Oh, my God.
Oh.
The next building is just blew up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Another plane just flew in.
I feel the heat. The explosion is incredible. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads.
First thing I wanted to do was to get my kids home.
Friends and neighbors.
He said, I'm on a flight, United Flight 93 from Newark to San Francisco, and there are 3 guys that have taken over the flight, and they say they have a bomb.
Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror.
What happened? Oh, my God.
What happened, Allegra?
Something just blew up.
We've been attacked like we haven't been since Pearl Harbor. It's a lot. A lot of firefighters and a lot of police officers. And I don't know that it's a lot. Big explosion happened. Some guy came out. His skin was all off. I helped him out. This is him all over.
It's hard to put it into words, and maybe one doesn't need to.
There's people jumping out of windows. I've seen at least 14 people jumping out of windows. So it's horrific. I can't believe this is happening.
Both trade towers, where thousands of people work, on this day, Tuesday, have now been attacked and destroyed.
The American people need to know we're facing a different enemy than we have ever faced. This enemy hides in shadows and has no regard for human life.
I got on the phone. I heard Mark's voice. He said, Mom, this is Mark Bingham. And he said, I just want to let you know that I love you. I told him, we love you, Mark.
This is an enemy who preys on innocent and unsuspecting people and then runs for cover.
There is simply no way to accurately describe the emotion this evokes.
That's what happened 3 months ago today, September 11th. We're running Fez.
We thought we'd go back and check in on everybody. Everybody called us that week. We stayed on the air, no commercials here on the radio station. Fez and I got talking about this 3 months later. Let's check back in and see how we're doing. Is it time to move on? Here's some of the calls we took this week. This is Tom, one of the callers we had that first night.
Listen, member of the local law enforcement community, not NYPD, but a lot of good guys went to their deaths today, and I just want to express. I mean, I'm sure you guys will agree with me. We can't be afraid. We have to take the stars and stripes out of the closet, hang them outside your window, and don't be afraid, because if we're afraid, the guys that did this win.
That was the very first call, I guess, we took that night.
Here is back live. Here's Nick. Nick, how you doing after 3 months? Hey, Nick.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
I was thinking about it when I tuned into your station tonight, and I heard the topic and everything, and it just seems like every time I start thinking all right, I'm getting too much into normal. I think about it for 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
And I start thinking about everything and how everything happened that day, and all everything that follows the next 3 days. And it brings me right back. I mean, right back to I just can't get over it. It's like it just escapes. I don't even know how to even explain it. It just brings me right back to the same feeling I had that same day.
Hey,
all the emotion.
Has your life changed any in the last 3 months?
You know what? I still have I still I do my normal thing, but I think about it at least once a day. I'm sorry, I'm emotional and everything. It's like.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Thanks a lot.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate it, Nick.
Here's Tom. Tom, you're on live with Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Ron and Fez, how you doing?
Yeah.
I just wanted to chime in a little bit about what you were saying. The holidays are coming up, and we can't forget what really happened. I'm a worker down at Ground Zero. I've been there since September 12th. And every night you guys take a little piece of reality on my way home and let me relax a little bit. But for anyone out there who is forgetting what happened on the 11th, I urge you to come downtown. They've opened up the inner perimeter today, especially, and you can get closer than you ever have, and you can kind of take a look and breathe the air in and kind of look around and see exactly what happened. And I don't think we can ever forget what truly happened, because they took a piece of each one of us, especially New Yorkers.
Right.
And we can't get that back, but what we can do is stand strong and prove to the rest of the world that, hey, we are New Yorkers, and yeah, you heard us and we cried, but we're going to come back stronger than ever. And you're not going to keep us down. And especially the holiday season, I think we need to realize that there's over 3,000 families that is going to have an empty chair at the table this holiday season. And we have to bond together as one and kind of say a prayer and reflect upon what we do have to be grateful for, and kind of move forward, but yet not forget what has happened to us. So I want to thank you guys for every night I listen to you guys. I work 7 to 7. On my way home, I listen to you guys in the car, and it kind of gives me a little bit of relief after a long day of work down there at Ground Zero. Not to forget, but kind of for an hour or two, take my mind off of what I do all day, and kind of a little bit of comic relief. So I want to thank you guys for that.
Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Tom, for what you do.
See you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
3 months today after the tragedy of September 11th, Fuzzy. Just checking back in. If you called us that first week or first couple of weeks, let us know. Or if you were just listening that week or just want to check in with anything. Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Buddy. What's happening?
Yeah, well, I had called. I was the one that got, in a lot of trouble for punching the kid in the face, breaking his nose, because he was making fun of the World Trade Center.
Oh, I do remember you calling us, yeah.
Yeah, I've since been, officially kicked out of the college. You guys really helped. It turns out I lost, 3 friends. One was on the plane, and he died too, so the total death toll, I guess, came to 4. I haven't really been sleeping well lately.
Right.
And then hearing what you guys played before, just goosebumps all up and down my arms. But I wanted to thank you guys for, bringing a little normalcy back to everybody's life.
All right.
Really helping. I didn't laugh very much until a few weeks ago. Listening to you guys tool on Al, it's always funny. So
that's all we have right now is Al. That's the beauty of it. We always have Al to put the boots to. Thanks, Brian.
Bye.
Sit.
Take care, Brian.
We actually and Rory went back through these, and we're not going to play a lot of the calls that we took that first week, because a lot of calls that we took, and we all kind of forgot about this, were people that were looking for other people. So they would be going, if anybody knows, blah, 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 we've been looking for him now for 2 days, and we didn't want to play any of those because, as far as we know, nobody found anybody that they were looking for.
Right.
And we just took tons of those calls the first week. Also, the other amazing thing, and for us, it was Hard Rock Johnny who got into the situation of thinking, what can, he'd do to help, and he called our station and started putting, food drives and, just collecting gloves and whatever.
So thousands of meals.
People reacted so fast and so strong to that within 3-4 days they had to say, please stop giving us stuff.
Right. Yeah, in his situation, he turned the Hard Rock into a drop-off point.
Right.
And then just got inundated with everything. Real testimony to the giving that the people immediately went to.
And I remember those nights, Johnny would come walking in here and tell us what he was doing, and I was just basically staring at him, and I'm just trying to get because he was, working. He was, making stuff happen. I felt like you and I were just stupid and in shock that whole first week.
And then he would come in, he'd explain it, or he'd call us and explain it, and then say, I'm going back out.
Right.
And he was immediately loading the van up again.
So he was on top of that very, very quick. All right, we got Johnny on the line right now. How you doing, Johnny?
Johnny.
Hey, boys.
Hey, pal.
How are you? You guys weren't stupid.
Oh, yeah, we were
You're
stupid.
never stupid.
Seriously, that whole first week,
We're still stupid.
Yeah.
Everybody was, though. It's just, you didn't think it was going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just, everybody was zombied. And we just happened to, we started doing what we did, and that's really, from there it just blossomed.
You guys were great, and you met a lot of really terrific people that week, too. I know that. You were saying, at one point, you called the station and said we needed bread, and somebody just come driving over from Jersey with a car completely filled up with bread.
Yeah, it was two ladies from, their office. They wanted to do something. And I remember, it's really weird. I remember every single person that I met, I still remember. I have it in my mind, because it was just, there was so much going on, and there was so many hours in 4 or 5 days that we did, but you just remember it because it was just that human feeling that people were doing something. It was kind of surreal, and we've kind of continued on, and we do little things here and there.
Right.
We're doing a breakfast for the NYPD kids. There's, and you say it's only 35 kids, because you think with the number of people who were affected, there's 35 children whose mother or father was an NYPD officer who lost their life that day, and we're going to do a breakfast for them on the 20th. I guess they found some fat guy to play Santa.
Who's that, Johnny?
I don't know.
Santa's a little bigger this year.
So we're doing that. We're doing something for the fire department on the Saturday, the 21st. And our company altogether. I think we're selling some shirts and some pins that are going specifically to the fund. We're hoping to raise almost $2 million just as a company-wide.
Nice.
So, and it's the little, again, little things. In the big picture, it really is.
That was one of the another feelings of that week, to go along with the shock, the desperate need to find some way to help. And people were in huge lines getting turned away at blood banks.
Right.
They just wanted to do anything, and it was like they were looking for that special type of blood, whatever that, I can't even remember what it was now.
Oh, was it the O?
The O?
Yeah, the O positive that everybody can use.
And we went down, the second day, we had a busload of food and water, and we went down by the Javits Center, and there's all these people just standing, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I looked at the cop who was on the bus with us, and I said, who are all those people? And he just looked at me and said, volunteers. And they're just people who were waiting for them to say, hey, we need someone to go do this.
Yeah.
We need, whether it was to clean out a porta-john or do whatever they had to do. People were willing to do anything to just say that they helped and they did something.
Right. Yeah, and everybody forgets... talking about the things, the union guys that ran down there right away, the iron workers who knew how to use that machinery to start moving stuff, they had no idea how dangerous that whole situation was going to be. Right. And those guys just took off for it.
They just went. It was one of those first images that people could kind of remember as just like an army of hard hat guys walking down the street, just ready to go into, it was like they were ready to go into battle. And they were ready to battle with that big mess down there, and they're still down there.
Right.
And, you didn't think they'd still be there. And, they've only got about half of it removed from what what the news says.
Right. And by instinct, the people that weren't physically or, didn't have the skills to go in there and do that, they just instinctively started lining up along the West Side Highway to cheer on the guys that could do it, that could go in there.
But, they're not there anymore, Fez.
No, they're not.
No. And, you couldn't expect that to stay forever. Right. You couldn't expect everybody to... you can't expect people that they're not going to go back to their own lives. But the whole point is do we do that and become better people in the meantime? And do we ever forget what happened? Because I know it took me a long time to get mad. You know, maybe even a month before I started to get mad. But I'm mad now. And I don't know. I mean, I don't feel this whole Osama bin Laden situation. I think it goes way further than that. And I hope the Bush administration sticks with this deal there. So.
Right. We all want to see Osama get it. But, I mean, is that ever going to, fill the void of revenge?
It runs deeper than that. And I don't think anyone who saw it or touched it or was touched by it will ever forget it. I mean, you might wake up in the morning and kind of forget about it. And then, But, at one point during the day, I don't know about you guys, but one point during every day, maybe more, I think about what happened.
Right.
You don't want to really anymore.
Yeah.
But you think about it. Whether it was someone you knew or, something that you did, you think about it.
I have a couple songs that bring me right back, songs that just happen to been played a lot that week. And, if I'll hear them, it just makes me go, oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Right.
All right, Johnny, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Johnny
Hard
Hard
Rock. From the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City.
It was right on top of that, feeding those guys right off the bat until, literally they said, look, now we've got it organized.
Right. And we've got just way too much food.
Here's Christy. Christy, you're on Run of Fez.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
Listening to that driving home, it just gave me chills. But, Fezzy, I know you were guilty of this. I'm guilty of it, too, doing the racial profiling. It's you don't want to, but you have to be aware. Do you know what I'm saying?
You look at people different now.
You look at people a little differently.
I was in a Target, and there was a man with a turban, and everyone was just, you could, cut the just unreal.
Yeah.
But,
all right, thank you,
I'm
honey.
sorry, thanks. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on the Run of Fez show. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing, partner? You said something important before. I'm a New York City police officer.
Uh-huh.
And you said something very important before. You said a lot of important, valid things. What you guys have to remember is this. You have to keep going on with your daily routines. That's how you fight terrorism. That's exactly how you fight terrorism. Now, I'm a city cop, and I trained a lot of those ESU police officers that were lost. And it's a very emotional thing. But to fight terrorism, you have to go on with your daily routines. And you said another very valid thing, that when you see a city cop or you see a city fireman, that you go over and say thank you. Let me tell you something. We appreciate that. Prior to September 11th, if I was in uniform and I was out there doing a detail, nobody's coming up to you to say, hey, thanks. And it took something like that to let the city and let the world know what city police officers, city firemen, EMS, Port Authority police officers go through and do on a daily basis. And we need to see more of that, and I think now we're going to. And I don't think people are forgetting. I really don't think people are forgetting. Look at Pearl Harbor. We still remember Pearl Harbor.
Right.
We still remember it. And I think we're never, ever going to forget this. I lost some close friends. There's some good guys, some really good guys. And we can't forget that. NYPD is never going to forget it. FD is never going to forget it. Port Authority, emergency service cops. Nobody's going to forget this. I don't think anybody's going to forget it. I really don't. Now, it's a little closer to my heart, but I think it's close to every American's heart, and I really don't think anybody's forgetting about it. We have to go on doing what we're doing every day. Whatever you do normally, what you guys do. I mean, you guys bring, fun, comedy. You have to keep doing that. You guys are entertainers, okay? We need you to entertain. And it's important that you keep doing it because that's how we fight terrorism.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks, officer.
God bless.
All right, New York City police officer, Fezzy. It's very strange. I remember when we did the bar crawl one night, and we were down with Psycho Mark, and we were in Tribeca that weekend. Everybody came out of the bar, and a couple of cops were there. And it was probably a month and a half after it happened, and we were all still just really, broken-hearted at the time. And everybody comes out of the bar and gathers around these cops and starts chanting NYPD. And it was...
And applause.
Right. I remember what it used to feel like when you came out of bar and saw a cop. You're like, well, Jesus, what am I holding? But everybody's like, well...
and the look on the officers' faces.
Yeah.
A little bit of shyness, and thank you, though. A gratitude, too.
Hey, Dave, you're on Mount Fez.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hanging in, buddy.
Well, a couple weeks ago, I got into a fight with my parents and my girlfriend and stuff, so I decided, me and one of my friends to take a road trip down to the city to see, what happened, kind of get a bite of reality. And we saw it. We got into this, little area. We saw it, and it really sucked. And it turns out, my family didn't know where I was that day, and they were looking for me, and my grandfather died that day. So when they all got to say goodbye to him, I was down looking at Ground Zero. And tomorrow's senior cut day, so me and a couple friends are going down again just to see what it's like now. But as I was calling you guys, I was driving home, and I pulled into my street, and there was a car on fire. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here, if I can say that. And no less than a minute later, the firemen were rushing over, and they just put out the flames, no fear and stuff. Just reminded me even more how brave everybody was.
All right, thanks a lot. See you later, man.
Thanks, Dave. I know.
All right, here's another call. Is this another Tom from I guess this is from September 11th.
All right.
It was weird today. I mean, in a nutshell, I'm not going to ramble on, but, I mean, a few things really got me. But the one thing that really, really got me, I was a block away watching this whole thing. It was just so friggin' surreal. I still can't even believe it. But there was a couple, obviously very high up. They had nowhere to go. And they basically just took each other's hand and just jumped off. And, that was really just, to me, just blew my mind.
You were down there at the time, Tommy?
Yeah, I went to make up a cooking class today, matter of fact. So the first plane hit while our bus was still in the tunnel. When we heard on the radio that a plane hit one of the towers, we thought a helicopter or a plane wing clipped it. There really was no detail. Then about 10 seconds later, I switched to 1010 winds, and they just started giving all this information. So by the time we pulled out of the tunnel, still only one tower was hit. So we were stuck right at that turn, just to turn off into Battery Park and, go around. We were waiting at a light. All of a sudden, we just heard the engines, roaring real loud. And then, boom, the whole area just shook. That's when me and this, guy kicked the bus window out, getting people out, and that's when that area was just in complete mayhem. Sure. It was out of a movie. It really was out of a movie.
Yeah.
All right, that was another caller from 3 months ago today.
Fez, reading some of the feedbacks. Here's instant feedback on WNEW.com. You can do that. Here's Lee. Says, love you guys, but F you for doing this to me. After listening to what you just played, blah, 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 it took me down. H-Box writes, says, thanks a lot for sending my good mood right into the crapper.
Okay.
Would you turn this depressing stuff off? Meryl likes the fact that we're playing some of this stuff. Dave writes in and says, stop using the word tragedy. We were attacked. All right, that's semantics. I'll call it the attack from now on. But it was, still tragic.
It's pretty tragic what happened to people's lives.
I think, here's the thing about Fez being gay.
What? Where does that come from?
Here's 7 writes and says, I'd like to hear from that kid who called whose father died in the attack. I'd just like to know if he's doing okay right now, because his story really got to me more than the others. That was also the weird thing, is that every once in a while you would hear all these stories that first week, and some of them would really hit home with you. I don't know why people just... you would just find out one person to really identify with, whether it was on the news or people that were calling here. Very, very strange situation. Here's Randy. Randy, you're on Ron Fez.
Hi, Randy.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Yeah, go ahead. You're on the air, pal.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, I'm listening to you guys, and a couple callers are calling in saying we got the one cop said he appreciates it when people say thank you to him on the street. And I just want to say that, you know, there's fire department in Connecticut, you know, and police in California, and I think they deserve it just as much because these people are brave all over America, you know?
You know, I wonder if that ever happened like it did in New York. I wonder if people felt closer. You know, obviously I don't know because I wasn't there. I know in New York, people still going to the fire departments, putting out flowers and stuff, you know, and just letters that kids wrote and pictures and stuff up. I don't know whether it happened everywhere. Obviously, all those guys are, no matter where you're doing this job at, you're putting your life on the line. But I have no idea.
Yeah, we
whether
know
it's the same feeling.
Yeah, we know the flags went out all over the country. But if you know, if the policemen and firemen got thanked.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives in California, and she said she put her flag out, of course, like everyone else is doing. But she also says, you know, that she thanks the cop whenever she walks by one, and she went to donate blood. And I was just thinking, you know, this is something that we do have to do. We have to realize, this made us realize that this is happening everywhere. You know, everybody is sort of feeling it.
All right, thanks a lot, my friend.
All right, thank you.
See you, man.
Thanks for the call, Randy. 877-692-1027.
Hey, Anthony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, first of all, what you guys are doing is pretty good. I guess lets us, like, kind of, like, release our tension to the situation. But in my story, I had actually left from LaGuardia. I was headed down to Orlando on that day, and we didn't find out till about halfway down there. The flight attendants, they went into the cockpit for about 15 minutes, and they came out with this really plastic look on their faces, and we sort of knew there was something wrong.
Well, you thought maybe it was with your plane, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell's going on?
Why does everyone look like that?
Yeah, because, well, when you're going south at 8 o'clock in the morning, you got the sun coming in on one side of the plane. If you guys remember, that was a really nice day that day.
Not a cloud anywhere in the sky. It was the bluest sky I ever remember.
Yeah, well, the pilot said there's been some problem in Orlando, so we're going to have to land in Jacksonville, Florida. So we didn't get to land in Jacksonville. He said we didn't make it to Jacksonville. We landed in Savannah, Georgia. This one lady in the plane started freaking out. She thought the pilot said Havana. We had to convince her that it was not Havana, it was Savannah. So when we get there, the airport is extremely desolate, and there's this one guy in the pilot suit, and he's got this southern drawl saying whether if I remember correctly, where the Trade Center was at, they're not there anymore. And we kind of didn't believe him, but then again, he had that official suit looking. And we looked down the hall, and there was like a bar restaurant with a TV, and everyone was crowded around it. That's when CNN was reporting the Pentagon getting hit. And it was just really unreal, and everyone just had a plastic look in their faces, because I worked just 5 blocks away right on Wall Street. And half of our employees come in on the PATH train. If you guys know, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really freaky and unreal. But we couldn't get in touch with our families, and no one could get in touch with their cell phones. Everything was busy, and you can imagine how our families. It was me and my now fiance. We were headed down there. That was actually her birthday. But it was really strange and weird.
All right, Anthony. Thank you, my friend.
Take care, guys.
It's the Ron and Fez show. It's 3 months after September 11th. We thought we'd just check back in. A lot of people called us that week. I know I'm reading some of the instant feedback, and, you know, not everybody's happy with this kind of show. I understand that. You know, we didn't know whether to do this or not, but we decided, what the hell. I don't know why we even decided to do it.
Well, that's part of, you know, trying to decide. You take your temperature, kind of a status report. How is everyone from that week to right now where we are, 3 months later?
It's 877-692-1027, 102.7 WNEW. It's the Ron and Fez show.
Ron and Fez, 102.7 WNEW.
What once seemed unthinkable has happened. On a bright summer morning, under a clear and cloudless sky, terror struck. To grasp the enormity of it is almost too much for the heart to bear. September 11th, 2001. It is a date that will be etched in history, engraved in stone, and in our memories. The day of the attack on America.
Another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just flew directly over my building, and there's been another collision. Can you see it?
We just saw a plane circling the building.
Matt, I've never seen any. It looks like a movie. I saw a large plane, like a jet, going immediately headed directly into the World Trade Center. It just flew into it, into the other tower, coming from south to north. I watched the plane fly into the World Trade Center.
I just saw a second plane come in from the south and hit the south tower, halfway between the bottom and the top of the tower. It's got to be a terrorist attack. I can't tell you anything more than that. I saw the plane hit the building.
I was there, and I saw the building collapse. We all started running.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward.
We're Ron and Fez. So we look up at the clock, 9:11. Three months ago today, our nation attacked. Tonight we're doing a little status report, seeing how you are 3 months later.
Fezzi, I never thought that we'd even get to this point where we would look back and go, hey, are we still doing enough? Have we got soft? Have we forgotten what that night and that day was all about and the weeks that followed?
Are we that blasé that this rolled off our shoulders much faster than we thought it would? Or is it the fact that things are getting back to normal a testimony?
My own personal
to
stuff.
Resilience.
My own personal stuff is I don't think that the president and the government ever asked enough of us. Because I think the way we were feeling then, we could have done anything.
877-692-1027.
Here's Malik. Malik, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Malik.
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's 3 months after, everything happened, but I wanted to give you guys props for, being humble during that whole week, even though, your schematic of things is, mostly comedy. Also, it's crazy because, like last week, me and a friend of mine was driving to New York. I live in Asbury Park. Me and a friend of mine was driving to New York, and I looked up at the skyline. I'm just like, yo, son, something's missing. He's just like, yo, bro, you forgot what happened? I'm just like, wow. It's like I watch TV, and all you hear is war, war, war. Yeah. Sometimes you think like, well, what are we fighting about? Did we forget?
All right, thanks, my friend.
Thanks, Malik.
Peace.
I remember not soon after the attacks, we were talking about that phenomena of seeing that part of the skyline and still seeing the outline of the towers even after they were gone.
Yeah, and now it's hard to remember where they were even exactly.
And how massive and how tall they were.
All right, Jim writes in, I'm glad that you guys are doing this. People need to stop and think about it every once in a while. Chet writes in, you guys are seriously bumming me out. Is this another one of Al's great producing ideas? Get rid of Al, Jesus Christ. No, you know what? Part of me thinks that maybe Fez and I will end up doing a show like this every once in a while for the rest of our lives, as long as we're on the radio.
Becomes part of you.
No, not just that. I don't want people to forget, even if it does bum them out every once in a while. This is a call that we took that first night from Dan from Hoboken, who's a buddy of ours. Here's the call.
My generation doesn't know tragedy. I'm 24 years old. It's nothing, you put it into perspective. You see the other World Trade Center bombing.
Yeah.
Even Oklahoma City,
right.
It's not to put light on those tragedies, but it's nothing, We know tragedy from movies, and those are completely sanitized at this point. I mean, they have to throw love stories in these, Pearl Harbor epic movies just to tell us, you know, to make my generation feel for it, you know, which is sort of sad. But, you know, in another way, it says that, you know, our country grew up today. You know, my generation especially, you know, this is something that's going to unify us as a country. And, you know, we may have, you know, lost today, and, you know, these terrorists may have won today, but tomorrow we will win. And every day beyond that we will win, because we have a country founded on the principles of Republican democracy under a constitution that's unpenetrable. I mean, there's nothing they can do to us that will overthrow our sense of government, our sense of a community. And, you know, it's just, you know, today is the day to hang our heads and to mourn those lost, and to, you know, put our hearts out and all our efforts out to those still, you know, in peril. But today is not the day to mourn America.
It's hard to believe that young man was the same one who created the Chokey Award.
It's a nice call that night, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Luke, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Luke.
How are you guys?
Hey, buddy.
What can we do for you tonight?
I think you guys are great. I try to listen to you every night. I just wanted to remind everybody of pretty much heroes that a lot of people forget about, the EMS workers. I know I work EMS in Yonkers, and when that happened, everybody came into the station, got ambulances together, and responded down there. And just kind of, you know, want to remind everybody that New York City has some of the best medics and EMTs in the profession. And those guys, you know, everybody should go up to them and thank those guys, too. A lot of those guys died in the, you know, in the incident. And they're kind of the forgotten heroes of the incident.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I have a great respect for the firefighters and the police, but those guys are out there, too. They put it on the line every day also, and they save a lot of people, and they are heroes every day. So just kind of want to remind everybody to thank them and to, you know, remember that they're there, and to have the same respect for them as everybody else.
All right, thank you,
my
Luke.
friend.
Take care.
Let's not forget anyone. 877-692-1027.
Hey, Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right. I just wanted to call. I mean, I'm driving home, and I'm listening to some people saying how, you know, it's bumming them out because we're talking about this today. It just seems really callous to say that because, you know, we got to realize there's 5,000 families that are going to be bummed out for a real long time. And I think that we're not thinking about them if, you know, if we're not sitting back to reflect on what happened on the 11th every now and then. And I think that it's good you guys are doing this show today. So I certainly appreciate it. And, you know, it definitely helps me to sit back every now and then and just think about it, just to put everything in a good perspective.
All right, thank you, my friend.
Thanks for the call, Kevin.
Here is Mary. Mary, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, Mary?
Hi, Mary.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I just wanted to thank you very much for taking the show to reflect back on that day. It's kind of hard not to get goosebumps, either whether you're repulsed or otherwise like those folks who are complaining. But that day that it did occur, I tried to get through to you because both my sister and my brother are New York City police officers. And my brother, who does have military experience and he flies the helicopters, he wasn't at work that day, and my sister wasn't at work that day either. And the first thing you do when you call, you want to know, where's my family? And I don't know, it's like 3 months later and I still choke up, but their friends, they've lost their friends and part of their extended family, and my mother was due to fly back from Ireland that day, and it hits home. It hits home. And, you know, I have pictures of the World Trade Center but prior to this in my home, and the Flatiron Building, and the Chrysler Building where my dad worked for 25 years. And that's a piece of my heart. That's a piece of anybody who is in this country, a piece of the state. It's a piece of all of us. And I work over here near the Westchester County Airport, and the silence with no planes for those few days, it was very eerie, very disturbing. And
that was eerie, and then it was weird when they started back up. Remember how you look up at planes?
Yeah, I still do.
We had to go through all those little stages.
And I don't know if everyone's... Sometimes you look up at a plane over the city and it looks like a shark in the air to me.
Yeah,
it just looks like the same feeling you have if you're in the ocean and you see a fin.
And you want to keep a little eye on it and see exactly what that plane's doing.
You want to make sure it's on its flight pattern. You want to make sure it's going where it should go. But also, too, with that whole... After all of that, my brother and my sister bought up every single play they could. They ran a special for service workers. And I have never in my life seen more plays in Manhattan in 1 month than I have. And also, too, after one of the plays, you know, Sexaholic with Joan Leguizamo, very funny, go down there. My brother goes, let's go down to Ground Zero and get in past barrier after barrier after barrier, come to Building 6 to find out during the search and rescue that he was lost in that building for 3 hours. And then I'm like, okay, even though I thought you were safe and clear, you know, in a minute, he could have been gone.
Right.
So during this holiday season, and, you know, in the past several months, I'm a less bitter individual, and I'm glad I have a job to complain about. You know, some human emotions are hard to stop, but I'm a little bit nicer. You know, if there's jam-ups, people coming onto the highway, instead of letting one car go, I let 5 car goes.
Oh,
people
you're that
behind me
person.
beep.
Yeah.
You know, I just find that you open up a little bit more. You know, you're more willing to give than I was a year ago.
All right.
You know? Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
God bless. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron of Fez.
Hey, Mike.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I don't know if you guys remember me. I called in during that week, and I explained to you guys that a fireman from the city saved my wife. I'm that cop.
Yes, I do remember that story.
How you guys doing?
Why don't you retell the story to everybody, Mike?
What had happened was after the first collision, my wife managed to get out of the building. I guess during all the confusion and everything else, she was just standing around in a daze. She didn't know what was going on. She couldn't find anybody she worked with, any of her coworkers or anything. So, fire department, a fireman just basically picked her up on his shoulder and said, "I'm getting you the hell out of here," and carried her away. And no more than 5 or 10 minutes later, the entire building collapsed. That firefighter's name was Danny Kelly. And, you know, I just want to give you guys a quick recap. I finally was able to meet the gentleman. We actually had dinner a couple of times, and he's turning out to be a really, really good friend now. It's a gift. I mean, to be able to know a person like that who does something like that for a total stranger is truly a blessing. On top of that, I wanted to give you guys a great deal of thanks again for what you did then. And you know, what you guys are doing tonight is just great. I think people need to be reminded. I think people should remember, you know, and, you know, obviously should never forget what happened and always keep it fresh in their memories.
I remember that call so well because you were down there, right, Mike, trying to help other people.
Yeah.
And Danny Kelly actually saved your wife.
They basically picked her up on his shoulder and carried her a few blocks down Broadway, past City Hall, past, you know, J&R Music Hall, just carried her a few blocks away, set her down, gave her some water, and then just took off and ran back towards the Trade Center. And you know, I was floored when I heard that. And, you know, quite honestly, the first thing I wanted to do is meet this guy, give him a hug, you know, and a handshake and just tell him thank you. And I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do so. And, you know, I talk to him, you know, pretty much every day. He calls me or I call him, and, you know, it's turning out to be a great friendship. And you know, just for him being there, I'm completely, eternally grateful.
Thank you so much. I'll never forget that call that night, Mike, and thanks for calling us back.
It's an incredible story.
And letting us know that you guys became close. It's amazing.
But again,
How comes on the PAX network, Fuzzy?
Yeah. I definitely want to give you guys a big round of applause. You guys are the best. And just one more quick note, actually, when I had to go to the hospital to get, you know, checked out, whatever, and she spent the night, she was pretty hopped up on painkillers, whatever, and she knows I'm a huge fan of your show. So the next morning I go to see her, and I happen to wake her up, and she looks at me, and I go, how you doing, hon? And she goes, "Cool in the gang, my friend." And that was one of the nicest things I've ever heard. And it was just a great
cool
day.
In the gang.
But I just wanted to say thank you again, and hope you guys have a great holiday.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, he's going to have a good holiday, right? Fuzzy got his wife, got a new friend.
Yep. 877-692-1027.
So, we're doing this show 3 months after because we had so many amazing things that week. And then, quite frankly, the first thing our program director would say to us, like 4 or 5 shows into this, okay, now start and move back over to the comedy. Get some jokes on the air. You know, that's what you guys are supposed to be doing. And everybody who kind of does this kind of thing felt the same way. But it's not like we ever forgot any of those shows.
Right. And it was baby steps back to anything because, you know, we didn't play commercials for so long.
Right.
And then, you know, it didn't seem appropriate to do live commercials.
Yeah, no matter what you did, nothing actually ever felt appropriate there for the first couple of weeks. And now that
we took a while trying to decide if we should put the cow and chicken open at the beginning of the show. How long before we put that back? Or use the stupid Insane Clown Posse music. Is that right? It starts out with laughing.
Yeah, maybe it's not really cow and chicken time yet.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre. No matter what you do, it was like being struck on the head and having to go back and relearn everything. And everybody was like that.
Right, yeah.
In their life. You know, we had people call up and say, geez, I was supposed to get married, should I?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I ended up taking that girl down the aisle.
Yeah, Fez, stood for somebody because...
Fuzzy Butt.
For Fuzzy Butt, because Mary Giuliani did the same thing.
Right. Stepped in. And her nice husband, Thunderlips.
Sure, Alice and Thunder, who still together, Fezzy.
Yes, yes.
Here's Amy. Amy, you're on Fez.
Hey, Amy.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Cool.
Good. My story's a little different, and I guess one of the reasons is I was actually on an airplane from Newark to L.A. for vacation. We took off about half an hour late, and as we were going over the World Trade Center at about 8:50 or so, the pilot said to us, if you look to your left, the World Trade Center appears to be on fire. And we looked, and you could see it was a pretty bad fire, but we figured it was a helicopter or something. We put it out of our heads, and then about 45 minutes later, we got diverted to Kentucky. And
like the president.
Pardon?
Like the president did.
Yeah, but at that point, no one really thought about anything, and we all got on our cell phones to tell people, we were going to be late or this and that, and couldn't reach anybody. And then got in touch with my sister, who was hysterical, thinking one of the planes might have been my plane, because at that point they didn't know. And my husband actually he works on 25th Street, he saw the second plane hit, and again, not knowing, thinking I could be in the plane. And I just, looking back, and once we got to the airport and CNN, and just felt so vulnerable because I was in the middle of nowhere, and all my family was back here. My neighbor worked at the World Trade Center, but he was late that day. He arrived just in time when the first plane hit. So it was very, very lucky, but, it took us about 3 days to get back. I met a great woman on the plane from Jersey as well, and we rented a car and got back. But,
wow, you guys came driving all the way back together, huh?
Well, my other girlfriend was going to meet me in L.A. She got diverted in Omaha, Nebraska, so she drove out to Kentucky, picked us up, and then we all went back. But I still, as soon as I got back, I said I have to give blood, I have to do something, because I feel like I missed it. I mean, I know it was a crazy place to be, but I just wanted to be with everybody and help everybody out, and I'm still quite freaked out about it. And
yeah, I was going to ask, how are you 3 months later?
I think in the first couple of weeks, I was just, real strong and helping everybody, and I was going to get through this. And as time goes by, I get more and more depressed and upset, and and I remember scanning all the faces on my plane. Did I have a hijacker on my plane? Obviously nothing happened, but I've given money, I've given my time. I made a blanket. This woman did this freedom quilt thing. They were making blankets for all the victims of the attack, so I made a blanket for that, and little things. But I go into the city all the time. And I went in right after, as soon as I got home. But I really don't. I think it's too soon to forget, and I'm so happy to hear you guys talking about this. I think that, it's a really great thing to talk about. I went to work today and no one mentioned that it was the third month, and people are forgetting and they just can't. I really don't think they can, but it was, all I wanted to do was get back and listen to what, I missed hearing you guys talking about it. I was away. I was in the middle of nowhere for 3 days.
Sure.
And, it was great to get back, but the skyline and the whole thing, it's just been very tough, and I haven't quite had a good cry about it yet, but, hearing a couple, like the girl that just called before about her brother and sister, that's just that day of trying to track everyone down, and everyone's trying to track me down, making sure it wasn't my plane, and, it's just a wake-up call, that's all. But thank you guys for doing what you do.
Thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye.
877-692-1027.
We'll come back to some more of your calls and some of the calls from that first week. It's 102.7 WNEW. It's the Ron and Fez show.
Ron and Fez.
You're scaring me. Stop it.
102.7 WNEW.
Welcome to the Late Show. This is our first show on the air since New York and Washington were attacked. And I need to ask your patience and indulgence here because I want to say a few things. And believe me, sadly, I'm not going to be saying anything new. And in the past week, others have said what I will be saying here tonight far more eloquently than I'm equipped to do. But if we are going to continue to do shows, I just need to hear myself talk for a couple of minutes. And so that's what I'm going to do here. It's terribly sad here in New York City. We've lost 5,000 fellow New Yorkers, and you can feel it. You can feel it. You can see it. It's terribly sad. Terribly, terribly sad. And watching all of this, I wasn't sure that I should be doing a television show because for 20 years we've been in the city making fun of everything, making fun of the city, making fun of my hair, making fun of Paul. Well, so to come to this circumstance that is so desperately sad, I don't trust my judgment in matters like this. But I'll tell you the reason that I am doing a show and the reason I am back to work is because of Mayor Giuliani. Very early on, after the attack, and how strange does it sound to invoke that phrase, after the attack, Mayor Giuliani encouraged us, and here lately implored us to go back to our lives, go on living, continue trying to make New York City the place that it should be. And because of him, I'm here tonight. And I just want to say one other thing about Mayor Giuliani. As this began, and if you were like me, and in many respects, God, I hope you're not. But in this one small measure, if you're like me, and you're watching and you're confused and depressed and irritated and angry and full of grief, and you don't know how to behave, and you're not sure what to do, and you don't really, because we've never been through this before, all you had to do at any moment was watch the mayor. Watch how this guy behaved. Watch how this guy conducted himself. Watch what this guy did. Listen to what this guy said. Rudolph Giuliani is the personification of courage. And
we're Ron and Fez.
I'll never forget that Letterman night, also, Fezzy, because who have ever thought that you would turn on your TV and watch David Letterman and Dan Rather holding each other and crying?
Right.
And I looked up, and I remember thinking, oh, my God, Dan Rather's crying. We must be effed.
Yeah.
They must be nuking us tomorrow.
We are in the bizarrest of circumstances.
3 months ago was the September 11th attacks and tragedy.
Right.
Here in New York City.
David Letterman, of course, talking about Mayor Giuliani. How much has changed there from the headlines being his love life.
Right.
And where he was living.
And that goes another thing.
To the man.
That's another thing of these people who, want to act like your leader, can't go out and get a little nook on the side or enjoy himself or party a little bit. What you really want is a guy who can do the real important things. And if he needs to party with a broad every once in a while, that's his business. Grow up.
If that's what energizes him.
Grow up as a voter, please. Here's Dennis. Dennis, you're on Ron and Fez. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like really happy you guys are doing this show. I look forward to catching the comedy, but this has been a good show.
I will admit this, though. A lot of people are writing into us that they're bummed out about it.
Well, I find myself like you. I get angrier every day as I read the obituaries, still the North Star Ledger prints obituaries every day of all like the fantastic people that are gone.
So does the New York Times every single day.
And I got my next door neighbor died, and every day I see his wife come out, and it just makes me angrier and angrier. And I ran in a New York Marathon, and that feeling that the millions of people cheering people on, like you said, I felt like this country would have done anything.
Right.
And I feel like we wasted it.
I don't know whether we wasted it. I think that, it's just a personal thing, that the president had the opportunity to say, you know what, we're never going back to being complacent ever again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not just going to be about what we buy and, we're going to do something really, really great. I don't know if we've done it yet.
Yeah. Every time they say get back to normal, I don't know what the right word is or even what the right thing to do is.
Right, mixed messages there of, we have got to take care of this situation and we will rise to the occasion. Please go back to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, by the way, has Billy Staples developed a brain tumor after last week's show yet?
Let me check in with Billy. Billy, of course, we talked about him. He was the first big rah-rah guy with the show. And then kind of the first to get off the bandwagon. He got pretty depressed. You really kind of rose your attitude and then kind of crashed into a depression.
Yeah. Thankfully, all those people with the idiot email pictures that went around for a couple of weeks, that's all stopped. That's all good.
Yeah. All right, thanks a lot, Dennis. Sit.
Thank you for the call, Dennis. Billy Staples is with us now.
Hey, guys.
Now, you started out right away, the I Heart New York T-shirts. You were red, white, and blue from top to bottom. You insisted on Ronnie and I putting up a flag in the office. You brought it in.
Yeah, I was hell-bent on revenge, and I wanted my pound of flesh, and I guess I just couldn't keep going at that pace, at where I was going, and I think it was like an automatic shutdown. If I would have kept going, I probably would have blew a gasket or something.
So you're back to the old Billy, the pre-September 11th Billy?
No, not after this, and listening to the things we put together for the show and stuff.
All right, this show has turned you back around again.
Oh.
There was a couple of moments on the air after the attacks where we were concerned for your health. Yeah. You were so wound up in here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. We thought you were having a heart attack. Your mom called.
He started beating on his chest at one point.
Yeah, that's right. I did forget about that, too.
Yeah, your mom called.
Yeah.
And asked you please settle down.
Oh, yeah, my mom was crying. That's right. I called her after she left the voice.
You couldn't calm her down after the show.
I know. And I was like, Mom, no, I'm okay. She goes, I heard you on the air. You're going to have a heart attack.
You were bright red.
Yeah, I actually forgot about it. I was just so incensed and so angry.
And you got there, you went with your civic pride so much faster than everyone else, because everyone else was still stumbling around in shock, and you immediately went red, white, and blue and all, I love New York, and then you got to your anger first, too.
It's happened pretty quickly, because I recall when it happened, and then sitting at home for a couple hours, not, in shock, and then I said, you know what, I got to get out and do something. That's when, I had to get into the city. It was like, I had to be here. That's how quickly it hit me, Fez. It was just like, I can't be sitting at home.
Some of the conversations in here were, the president and our leaders, they know what needs to be done. They're going to take care of it, Billy. You can calm down.
And then he did calm down and forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Now tonight's got him weirded out.
And remember when he went to Union Square and got Peace Nicky on us?
You called it a peace Nicky. We had to bring you back. This is about peace, guys. It's about love.
Maybe we should give peace a chance, guys. What?
I got to watch out the Moonies don't grab you.
I became a victim of my own fears. I was worried about everyone getting complacent, and I was the first one that it hit. And guilty as charged. I just couldn't deal with it on an everyday basis with that anger anymore.
3 months to the day. How are you?
I'm angry now.
I'm sure that you are ready to rally again after hearing.
I got very emotional listening to these things. Very emotional, and it's just it brings it. I feel like it's that day all over again.
No, it's not. We just want to tell you that.
I know that. But it's just
all right, I want to take a few more calls here, but thank you, Billy.
And you're wearing the bathroom key around your neck. You're going to forget and take it home.
Right, again.
Put it in the office.
Doesn't belong there. Like you're talking to a child.
I know.
He thinks that's his home bathroom now. Here's Paladin. Paladin, you're on a Fez.
Paladin?
Yes. Hello, Ron and Fez.
Hi, my friend.
I wanted to say thank you for what you did for us during September 11th. I lost 2 cousins in the World Trade and a close family friend in the Pentagon that was a week away from maternity leave. And it was good for me to talk and do something to get it off my chest. And I wanted to give you a thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm sorry for your losses.
Yeah, well, I also agreed with certain other people that this event, this tragedy, this attack that on us that happened, I don't think it'll ever be forgotten. In that sense, that it's always being brought up, and no matter who you're talking with, even to today, if that subject comes up, even on the radio, it comes up a lot. There's that sense of remembrance that still pervades the conversation, and that sense of commonality with everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Paladin.
Okay.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, pal. Adin. 877-692-1027.
Here is Adrian. Adrian, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, Adrian.
Hello?
Hey. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. First of all, I want to say thank you, guys, because that night I was sitting up in my bed and I couldn't fall asleep, and you were the guys that I called, and you were able to calm me down, at least help me close my eyes. I was so terrified. I thought, like, planes are just going to crash into me.
It was scary to go to sleep.
It was like you couldn't even, like, close your eyes. You thought, like, oh, my God, will I wake up in the morning? Like, that's, like, it was just such an unreal feeling for me, especially since I'm only 21, and that's, like, the first time I ever experienced anything like that. But what I wanted to say, and I don't want everyone else to get me wrong on this,
okay,
is that here we are 3 months later, and I'm angry, but I'm angry for different reasons. I'm angry because I see that the way the media and newspapers and television and whatnot are portraying everything that happened, and especially with the victims, it seems like more attention is being paid to the firefighters and the police officers and, you know, the Port Authority cops and so on. Don't get me wrong, my mother's a sergeant in the NYPD. She used to work down on 100 Church Street. I don't even know what I would do if I lost her, but I don't see how it's very fair that so much money is being given to the Firefighter Widows Fund, where, like, they have millions and millions of dollars. They have to hire liaisons to, like, you know, try to appropriate this money. But you have thousands upon thousands of people that lost a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter that day, and yet they're getting nothing. And that, to me, hurts, because it's like, it's kind of like the media is making it seem like, and maybe it's not just the media, maybe it's society, they're making it seem like 343 firefighters, their lives being lost are more important than 3,000 people. And that's what really upsets me. Like, I just want people to be aware that firefighters and police officers and Port Authority officers weren't the only ones that were lost that day. You know, and there are other people out there that were making like $6 an hour, you know, washing dishes that are gone. Their families have nothing. Like, they live in, like, you know, impoverished neighborhoods, you know, one paycheck away from getting kicked out of their houses, and it seems like no one seems to give a damn about that, and that's what upsets me, and, like, I just want to bring that to people's attention.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Adrian.
Here is Rishi. Rishi, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Rishi.
Hello.
Yeah.
What can we do for you tonight, Rishi?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the air, pal.
Yeah, I'm retiring from the PD on January 6th. I'm on the board. I was down there, and Adrian, who was before me, she's right. A lot of money's been collected for, you know, police officers, fire department people, and the ones that worked in the building, it doesn't seem to slough over to them. And I just can't understand why.
I know they're trying to work all that stuff out, and I know it's supposed to go out to everybody, all that money that's been raised, so All that stuff, it might take years to work out. No one likes to hear that kind of stuff, but that's exactly what happens every single time.
Sure.
Yeah, nobody likes to hear about it, but if you don't hear about it, you won't do nothing.
I agree. Now, Fez, weren't you telling me that you just saw something in the paper the other day about how many people worked, either volunteered or gave money?
Yeah, that was a story out of the Los Angeles Times.
Uh-huh.
And what that was that they said 70% of all American adults donated blood, money, or time to help the victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks. 70% they figured out in a study by the LA Times.
All right, thank you very much, Rishi.
I got 2 things to say.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
A shout out.
Yeah.
LT Rooster, GVAC, and I'm retiring. Go to work, pal.
All right, buddy.
All right. Also, according to this, they said more than 200 corporations and foundations donated at least $1 million, and about 50 corporations and foundations gave at least $5 million apiece. In all, relief organizations have pulled in more than $1.3 billion.
Unbelievable. So, I mean, I don't understand how there would be no money for those families, as she's saying. I mean, I don't know whether they got it there yet. I know the Bill O'Reilly thing, he kind of, and I saw him get attacked by the people who were raising money.
Mm-hmm.
We got another one of those calls from that night, Roy. This was the first night call. This is from a guy who calls the show quite a bit. It's Tacumbo.
A lot of people are calling in tonight and talking about how maybe Americans and New Yorkers should feel good about how they responded to this and stuff like that. And I don't know, just to me, it's not even time for that yet. I mean, this is just a time for mourning. I'm just thinking about all day I've sat glued to the TV looking at tens of thousands of people that were killed in the most horrible of ways that I could even imagine. And I'm a 30-year-old man. I was just sitting here, not now, but early in the morning, I was just crying.
Yeah.
Just thinking about these people are, not just, forget the skyline being lost. I mean, these people were just killed. I mean, people who had lives, they had families, children, they were working hard. And just to be crushed and just horribly killed in this way. And I used to work at the World Financial Center. Underneath that whole complex, there's a whole other complex. There's banks there and everything just underground. Right?
Yeah, right.
And all that, I don't know what happened. I haven't even heard a report on that yet. And then all those firefighters, and they were there just trying to help people.
Yeah.
And they were all up in the, All right, Ron, thanks a lot.
Okay, buddy.
All right, that was from 9/11, 3 months ago.
Here's another call. This was the same night. This is Bill.
All right, I was there this morning. I delivered to a deli. I was actually talking to my friend. He was on the 110th floor. His name was Dean. I know he died. He's a very good friend of mine. I just want to put respect out to his family.
You were delivering to a deli at World Trade Center?
Across the street from the World Trade Center.
I see. Okay.
When I saw the first plane go through, and it was, it's just incredible. And I sat there. And I saw the fire trucks and the ambulance and everything roll up, and within 5 minutes, then you saw the other plane go through. And I'm trying to hold it together without swearing, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just to hear this, I was trying to get through to Opie and Anthony, and I know I lost the best friend. I know, they got to deal with this. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
I understand, Bill.
No, I just want to say, if there's anybody out there, please help. Really help. I got away just in time. Within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I was down the street, and I heard the building go down. I took a couple people in the van. I looked behind me and saw that building coming down.
Yeah.
And it was so destroyed, I just wanted, I'm just saying, I was with the 82nd Airborne at the Marines, out of Paris Island, and I wanted to say, if President Clinton, if you even hear this radio show, I'm willing to go over to Afghanistan. I got a bunch of friends. I'll take the mission.
That was Bill from 9/11, who, in his grief, wasn't aware that President Clinton was out of office.
Well, a lot of us were hoping the president would, stage a coup that night.
Right, yeah, because nobody knew what to think then.
And take us back to the party in the 90s. That's all we wanted to do. Take us back to the 90s, please. Here's Joe. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, Joe?
Hello, Joe.
Hi, guys.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing? Oh, yeah, I called you back then. I'm a fire lieutenant in the city. I dropped off a few shirts to Al Dukes a few weeks ago for you guys. I hope you got them. I just tell you I appreciate you guys. And for the girl that called before, her mother was a sergeant. Got to understand, firemen and the cops are going to get a lot of the money because when everybody was coming down the stairs, and nobody wants to take away, the importance from any life that was lost, all guys were going up the stairs. And they knew that this was going to happen, and it's a shame. I told Al Dukes I want to tell you a story. When I was down there on the second or the third day, they had pictures all over the place about please find my daddy and this, and they had a picture of a guy, and he said his father was a janitor. And I just said the guy lived in Staten Island. They had 4 beautiful little kids, and I had tears in my eyes looking at this thing. And they were looking for their father. They said the father was on the 104th floor in one of the towers. I remember crying and saying to myself, because I have 3 kids, what a terrible thing this was. And I remember going home that night talking exactly what you talked about I know that they're going to take care of the firemen and the cops and the EMS guys and the Port Authority and all the other emergency services. But what about the janitor, Right. And I still feel that way, and I hope they do take care of them. But you can't blame it on the cops and the firemen because it's just people, people know the heroics. All guys, and people took pictures of them when they were coming down. Guys went up the stairs when they knew. So you know what it's like to climb 8, we have fires in a 20-story building. An 80-story climb up, forget about it. It's unimaginable. And I pray for all the families. And I do hope that the families that had nothing, then, reap some benefits also. I really do. But don't take it out on the cops and firemen. They're not, we're not asking for it. You know what I mean? Nobody's running a commercial ad.
Right.
But to end, you guys are the best. And I really enjoy listening to you guys. And God bless you, all right?
Thank you very much, Joe. God bless you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Joe. I remember not too long ago, remember that furniture factory in Queens burned to the ground? And if you lived anywhere along the East River, you had a view of that. And I remember seeing that fire out there and thinking, oh my gosh, I hope those guys are so careful today. Before you would see a fire, you see the firemen on the scene, you take it for granted that these guys got it all under control. They're the pros. They go in and they do their jobs. And you just think, oh, God, be so careful.
Yeah, and it could go wrong every day.
Yeah.
Every day could go, hey, Jersey Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Jersey Dan.
Buddies.
Yeah.
I guess everybody writing in saying that it's a little disappointing. All this mixed views about hearing this all over again. But I think that I like hearing it from you guys. Because there's no advertisements, there's no corporate sponsorships or anchormen trying to get one over on the next person. It's just people just talking about stuff. It's kind of real honest,
I think that's why we wanted to do this show, is just go back and check in with some of those folks that called us that first week, because a lot of those stories, touched us so much. And then also, I kind of feel like, Fez and I were talking about this coming in. Maybe this will be the show that we do once a year or something for the rest of our lives. Well, maybe that's all that we, are supposed to do about this. I don't know.
I don't know if we need a schedule, just see how it goes. But I don't like turning on the news. I get turned off by getting force-fed every angle possible and seeing things over and over again on the TV. It gets disappointing almost. It gets discouraging how vulnerable it really felt like we were.
And you know what, Dan, I think the situation is that we are still that vulnerable.
Yeah.
All those things that we worried about, we are still that vulnerable. We still have the same problems right now with airline security. We can't work that out. We still have the same problem with the borders. And just because it hasn't happened, in the last 2 weeks, there's no reason to feel any safer. We got the same problems. Thank you, my friend.
No problem.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, Jersey Dan.
It's 877-692-1027, and you're listening to the Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez. Frequency. 1027 WNEW.
It is not a good morning in New York City.
Oh, my God, the building fell. Are you there? The building just fell.
Which building?
Oh, my God, the south building just crumbled from the top. Oh, my God.
First one plane crashing into the World Trade Center, then a second crashing into the second tower.
Is that the building going down? Is that the second building of the World Trade Center going down?
Yes, that is the second. That is the second tower. That is the second tower.
Down. It's a huge plume of smoke that came out of the middle of the building, and then the building just disappeared in the smoke.
We're Ron and Fez 3 months later.
3 months since September 11th, Fezzy. Have we forgot? Have we started to forget? Did we forget the wrong things?
And wondering where you're at in your own personal life.
Just checking back in. Here's Lewis. He's a 13-year-old boy who gives us a call. How you doing, Lewis?
Hey, Lewis.
You're on the air, buddy.
Hello? Yeah, in school now. We always say the Pledge of Allegiance because our principal thinks that it's really important to show unity to our country.
Uh-huh. So you do that every day now?
Yeah.
You weren't doing that before?
No.
Wasn't there a problem with, like, when President Bush, on one of his visits, he went to lead the kids in a pledge and they couldn't find a flag in the school?
I think it was in Chinatown.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I couldn't find an American flag.
Thank you, Lois.
You're welcome.
Get to sleep, pal. Here's Jeannie. Or Janine, I'm sorry. You're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Janine. Go ahead, sweetheart.
I'm a teacher, and I have to tell you that first week was so difficult, and being the kind of paranoid person that I am, just having to be with those kids every day and not be a complete wreck. You guys were such a big part of that, just coming home at night and listening to you guys and how calm you are and how rational and how you just talk to everyone and let people talk and get things off their chest.
Janine, how are the kids 3 months later?
They were really scared. We were in a school where we had quite a few parents who worked in the building and in that area, and luckily we only lost a few, but just to have you guys help keep us calm and to keep us ready to go in the next day and be rational with them when everyone knows it was such an irrational and horrible time for anyone. It was just so great, and I wanted to thank you guys and just you help so many people you don't even realize it, and just keep it up because we really appreciate it.
All right, thank you, and it's not why it's very weird to hear when you're talking about real people who did stuff about guys that are just on the radio. But thank you anyway, but obviously we don't do much. Fezzy, look who it is. It's Alice Fuzzy Butt, the girl you walked down the aisle.
Who I gave away at her wedding. Hi, Alice Fuzzy Butt.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
We were hoping your name would change with that, and you wouldn't be stuck with the Fuzzy Butt.
I'm Alice S. Fuzzy Butt Thunderlips.
Ah. Fuzzy Butt Thunderlips. She's hyphenating, Ronnie.
That's right. I am my own woman.
Sure.
Anyway, guys, I just felt that I heard you guys talking about us before, and I just wanted to know, yes, we are still together. We're both very happily married. But I just really wanted to thank you guys because as Jeannie was saying before, I know for myself, you really got me through a really dark time.
Well, what was the day of your wedding? What was that date?
That was October 6th, it was about 3 weeks later.
3 weeks later, and I remember when it happened, you didn't even know if you were going to get married, and you had went and got a boat so you could drive around.
Yeah.
Jersey City.
Right. Well, New York Harbor.
Right. So, you get the whole thing for the view, and then there's the view, which is just pure smoke at that time.
Yeah, well, I was, all the guests, like all of Thunderlips' relatives from all around the country were saying, so Alice, where were the towers? And it felt really odd having to point out where the Twin Towers used to be. I felt like this bizarro world tourist guide or something.
And the Coast Guard, I remember the boat you had your wedding on, the Coast Guard going by and just checking everything out.
Yeah, and there was a point, and I can say this now safely, that the captain of our boat said that he's a commercial he's a commercial vessel, so he could go out into the harbor, but there was this rule that he had to have an armed guard, and for a while, but luckily that had just been lifted because I really didn't want to have my guests freaking out over some armed guard on board, so it all worked out.
Thank you very much, Alice.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Here's Greg. Greg, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Greg. Thanks
for having your own music, Greg.
Appreciate any sort of production. Always.
Hey, Tim, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, guys, how we doing?
Hey, Tim.
This is a little bit on a lighter note. Right before the attacks, I was going through a pretty bad breakup, and I was actually on the phone with her when the news broke, and we must have stayed on the phone for about 2 days straight, and we have been inseparable since. It really does bring you closer to the people that you love, knowing that they could go at any time. And I think a lot of people's lives have been touched in that manner. Maybe you don't see it so much from strangers, but I think families and loved ones and people, significant others, I think it has hopefully brought a lot of people closer together, and they really cherish the ones that they're with, because I know I would not want to be with anybody but the woman I am with now, and I cherish her and appreciate her so much now.
Oh, God. Oh, that's great, Tim. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you, guys.
It's all about you, Tim. All right, bye-bye. Here is...
I remember, Ronnie, before you go to the next call, one thing that got me through that first week was the amount of poems we were inundated with.
Bad poems actually help so much.
It was nice to break up the calls, sad as they all were and as frightened as the people were some really, really bad poems.
And then Hawk would always write on a piece of paper, what rhymes with C? When a young woman
right, yeah.
was reading us a poem.
Well, what is that you have, Rory?
Yeah.
And we'll decide on the air if we're going to play it or not.
Yeah, what is it?
Remember when Billy went down to Union Square to go talk to everyone down there?
Yeah, the peacenik, yes.
He talked to some girl who was reading a poem about the whole thing.
And this is just bad poems?
It's just one long poem about it.
Yeah.
We can cut out of it whenever you want.
Oh, I'm already ready to cut out. All right, go ahead. This will just give you an idea of the poems that were written that week.
And we had several of these types of things.
Several thousands.
Go ahead and whine your terrorist whine.
Oh, jeez.
And chant your terrorist litany. If you cannot see my point, then feel my pain.
This is one we had no control over.
Right.
Alien to Americans.
Billy was doing it.
We live in a country where we don't have to see your point, but you're free to have one.
All right, thank you. That's enough.
And Billy had handed the phone over.
Yeah, right.
That's what happened.
And I mean, that must have been this woman's absolute wet dream.
Oh, sure.
I'm on the air with my poetry. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, how you doing, Ron and Fez?
Yeah.
Big fan of the show. I just like to say I feel real bad about what happened and stuff, and I don't believe innocent people should die, but don't you think, playing these clips and doing a show like this is, shouldn't we, move on?
Move on how? How are we going to move on?
I don't know. It's just, it feels like, you guys are kind of, dragging it on a little bit.
Dragging it on how? What are you saying? What part are we dragging?
I don't know. Just doing a memorial show on the 11th, It's like, I don't know.
I think the reason why we did it, maybe we were wrong, Mike, is that we really didn't want people to forget whether we're going to get, at this point, start to maybe not back the military as much, or maybe forget about going after those people. And, we talked about it. Maybe every once in a while we're just going to, put this stuff back up to everybody. Because the real point of this, Mike, to me, is that it wasn't me and Fez doing those shows. All we really did that week was turn the phones over, and all the stuff that you really heard was people's real emotion at the time. Whether it was their fear, whether it was their anger, whether it was their determination. And I think what we talked about is not letting people forget that.
That's true. You're right on that. But also, it was wrong what happened, but you also got to look at what this country does to other countries and how they butt in and stuff.
How they butt in and stuff.
Well, my parents are from Europe, and, they tell me all kinds of things, like how this country is wrong, but still, people don't deserve to kill innocent people like they did.
I wonder why your parents stay here from Europe.
What?
Why do your parents stay here?
Well, no, they like the country, just some things they disagree with,
Right.
But I agree with what you guys are doing. You guys rock.
Yeah.
All right.
There's always Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a break call. The truth is, Fezzy, is...
I'd rather go back to this.
Tends to take over people who come to this country.
Like Mike's parents.
Let me ask you this. Do they do that in Europe? If they have no poetry in Europe, I like a poem that rhymes. I have no problems with that. Here is Eric. Eric, you're on Ron of Fez. How are you, buddy?
Hi, Eric.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, pal.
Listen, my boss was at ground zero when it happened. He sat there and he was coming out of the Lincoln Tunnel as the first tower fell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little rough because I sit there and I look at him and he's a hero in my eyes, and, other people don't see it that way. But you sit there and you see a guy who sits there and comes back with pictures from the cameras that the firefighters who passed away had in their hands and took the pictures, and it's crazy. Like, I sit there and every time I see him, it puts a tear in my eye.
All right, Eric. Thank you very much. There are so many pictures that they never put on TV, that they never put in the magazines, because quite frankly, it's very, very difficult to look at them. But, as time goes on, maybe people need to see some of this stuff if they don't want to remember. Here's Angelo. Angelo, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Angelo.
Yeah, how you doing, Ron and Fez? First of all, big-ass cardholder, 10972. And I want to make a comment about that caller before the last one. If people don't remember what happened on 9/11 and don't sit back and think about how vulnerable we are as a country, then people like him and all the other people who say we butt in too much are going to take the limelight. We don't butt in. We go out and we're out there for justice, where we back up the people that don't have the might to stand up against the oppressors. That people like him get to me.
Right. I got emotional that first week when someone tried to make that same argument, and the way it makes you feel is that, we've been asking for this.
Right.
And that the people that gave up their lives in the Pentagon and the Twin Towers and on those airplanes were as guilty as anyone and deserved this. And it's a shame.
We don't deserve
to do
anything
that.
because we're standing up for these people who don't have the power to stand up for themselves. And that's what we need to remember, that this is all because we as Americans stand up for the people that don't have the power to stand up for themselves. And that's what we need to remember, that Osama bin Laden and all the other people that brought 9/11 to happen is the people that we need to fight against, and because they'll do this again and again and again if we don't stand up to them. And this is what we need to remember. We need to remember the 5,000 people that died, the cops, the firemen, the rescue workers that died trying to save other people. That's what America's about, trying to save other people. That's what we need to remember.
All right, thank you very much, Angelo.
Thanks for the call.
See you, buddy.
877-692-1027. 3 months after September 11th, just checking in with everyone that called the show that night or anyone that was listening to the show that week. And just, how are you now?
Now, to be fair, Fezzi, I'd say the instant feedback is about 60-40 of people thinking of liking the show tonight. A lot of people, I'll read one here with Tom. Tom, sorry to say that I'm not enjoying tonight's show and much prefer the comedy. Don't get me wrong, what you did the first week was great. But I wish you would realize that all of us are still living with it. All of our hearts are together. We are changed. We do need to get on with the life. We don't need you guys to tell us to support the military or remember the dead. Trust your listeners' moral compass and do what you do best. Make me laugh. Okay, thank you, Tom. I'll be a funny clown. No, I understand. I understand that. That's actually, a legitimate gripe about tonight's show, but we did it anyway. Hey, Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I was just calling. I called you guys that night, and I don't even remember exactly what I said. I was just rambling on. I didn't know what I was talking about. But I just want to call and thank you. This show is helping out a lot of people, and we do need to remember about what happened. Obviously, we can't forget 3 months later, but people have forgotten. And these people that are saying instant feedback on the phones that we should get on with this, it's impossible. And by what you guys are doing, it's helping out a lot of people. I just wanted to call and thank you.
See you, Mark.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Here's a guy who did call us that night. We used his call. It's Tecumbo.
Oh, yeah. We replayed his call earlier tonight.
How you doing, Tecumbo? You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ron and Fez? How you doing?
Tecumbo.
First of all, let me just thank you for the show tonight and the whole first week, which I did after that tragedy happened. I mean, it was very important, just, the seriousness and the tone of the show, because people just need to feel that other people feel just the same way they do. And to anyone who's trying to say that we don't need to do shows like this, you know what? It's not always time to feel good. What you're doing right now is very important because if you don't do it, people will forget. And we can't forget what happened. And we can't diminish our feeling or the intensity of our feeling. I mean, we can't all be like, Billy was the first week or first couple of weeks, but, we can't forget either what happened or the intensity of it. And people like Mike, who just called in a couple of callers ago, they, I don't want to call him an idiot, but, I mean, you can't make American foreign policy analogous with the terrorism that happened. They just don't equate. It's just nonsensical. I mean, that was just butchery, a cowardly act. And we need people like you, Ron and Fez, to hold the flame, so that no one does forget. I don't want to take up any more time. Just thank you for the shows.
Thank you very much, and also thanks for calling at night. It was a great call. I understand people not wanting to hear this stuff. Here's another instant feedback. It says, Ron and Fez, whatever happened to that weird kid who talked about robot pilgrims and Indians? That's the funniest damn thing I ever heard on your show.
That's that annoying Kenny Allen.
Do we have that clip to play tonight, or would that be a little inappropriate?
That would probably be wrong.
Yeah. It probably isn't exactly what we need to do tonight.
No! Wait! I'm the one who says things.
I think if there wasn't the drooling problem, I can handle that kid a little bit better.
That's the only thing I like about him. He's got plenty of saliva.
And Tecumbo mentioned the fact that we all couldn't be like Billy, and we said that tonight we're gauging how you are 3 months later. If our only barometer is Billy Staples, then, then everyone seems nuts. So it's nice to talk to humans and see how they're doing 3 months later.
Hey, Steve, you're on Fez.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Ron and Fez. Just called up because you guys are reminding me a lot of what's going on, what happened that day. First of all, I'm 16, and that day already started out hectic because I don't know if you guys remember or not, but that's when the teachers first went on strike. So already 8 o'clock, we walk into the school, and there's faculty walking around everywhere. And, it was pretty hectic that day. So they pull us all into the auditorium, and about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I just, forget when it all happened because right now it's like such a blur to me. But they pull us into the auditorium, and that's when they let us, know what happened that day. And I think you guys are doing a pretty good job because I, too, forgot, a little bit about that day.
All right, thanks a lot, son.
All right.
See you later.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. 877-692-1027 if you want to check in with us.
Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey,
Hello?
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I just got 2 things to say.
Go ahead.
America has nothing to apologize for. We lead the free world. People are jealous of us for what we have and what we do. We protect the rest of the world. We provide everything for the rest of the world. And you know what? We need all to be proud to be Americans.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you for saying those things.
Here's, and thank the people who don't always agree with us, too. Hey, Lisa, you're on Fez.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. I just want to say, I wanted to call these people morons who are telling everybody to get on with everything. But, you know what? They're not morons. They have a right to say what they want to say. But people don't remember enough as far as I'm concerned. I called for a week hospitals looking for a friend who was in the first building, right where the plane hit. And I will never, ever, ever forget it. And I don't even like it when people call it the 9/11. Okay? It wasn't the 9/11. It was a massacre brought on by people who aren't jealous of America. They just don't get us.
That's a little long to say.
Well, people go on to say that everybody's jealous of us. That's why these people hate us. They're not jealous of us. They just don't get it. And it just ticks me off when people go on and say 3 months after the fact that we got to get on with our lives.
Right. I kind of felt the same way about that, too. For 3 months, you know what I mean? It's not that long.
No,
it is not that long.
3 months. They haven't even found their loved ones. They haven't found a ring, a body part, nothing. I mean, it takes people years to get away from their loved ones and stop thinking about them day after day. And how can these people get on here and say, get on with our lives? It's just insane.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's true, Lisa. There's going to be people that are never going to be able to get on with their lives.
We'll take one more break. We'll come back and wrap it up with some more of the stuff. 3 months after the 11th, we're trying to check in with some of the folks we talked to that first week. 877-692-1027. You're listening to 102.7 WNEW, The Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, 102.7 WNEW.
Thank you all. Go get him, George! I want you all to know it can't go any louder. I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. The nation sends its love and compassion God bless America! To everybody who is here. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.
We're Ron and Fez.
That was George W. Bush. Down at Ground Zero.
That's when he walked up on the fire truck, put his arm around that firefighter, and made his speech.
Probably the best speech of his career, Fezzy.
Mm-hmm.
Here is Wes. Wes, you're on the Ron and Fez Show. Hey, Wes.
I just wanted to call in support of your topic tonight. I think that while most of the country walks around full of hurt and anger, and sometimes maybe gets a little fed up of hearing it over and over, it's our patriotic duty to remind those of us who've forgotten what really happened to us and the seriousness of it. And I think that it's necessary to relive it every once in a while to bring back the realness of what really happened.
All right, thank you very much, Wes. Here's Bill. Bill, you're on the Ron and Fez Show.
Hey, Bill, go ahead.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, buddy.
What can we do for you tonight?
I want to tell you prefaced the show with not having a flag up. Remember that?
No. We were asking probably if people still have their flags out since so many people did it at first.
All right. What'd you want to say, Bill?
But now Bill Hill's just talking on the other line. He's all silly.
He's all confused.
And you prefaced. Devin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Devin.
I just wanted to say that, I started listening to your show right before September 11th, and listened to you guys through everything, and I feel like, I myself take things for granted about the freedom we have in this country and the people that are protecting us. And I just want to say thank you to all the people that are protecting our country and the people that risked their lives to save people on September 11th, And I think that I had a pit in my stomach when I listened to the show tonight, and I think it's a good thing. For me to remember how I felt on the 11th and the people that I lost. And, we can't forget what happened. And I just want to thank you guys for letting people get a chance to voice their opinions.
Thank you very much, Devin. Here's Rob the cop. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, pal?
Hey, Rob.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
What
I just wanted to say real quick tonight that just remember the uniform guys. I know it's hard to look at the police officers as heroes all the time because like the firefighters are always the heroes. We're sometimes the bad guys, but that day was just such a devastating loss for all the uniform guys. I hope people will never take it for granted again. That no matter what happens, we'll be there to go in front line kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, Rob.
It was rough, but I just hope people don't forget that it was a rough day for all the uniform guys, and that sometimes the cops still got to do our jobs, but everybody pretty much were heroes that day.
Thank you very much, Rob.
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, pal.
Bye.
Here's Kevin. Kevin, you are on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm a patrol officer in the Bronx. I was assigned down there the day the towers fell. We were shelled down, and I appreciate your show tonight, and it brought a lot of tears to my eyes. I'm trying to keep it out of my head. And, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, you're on, buddy.
We're listening.
Okay, and I started crying when you guys were talking before. And I talked to a few friends in the job. I lost a lot of friends. But the guys that got left on the job, we I don't know how to put it. We keep going on, and we do for the city what we can. I got 22 years in the job. I'm not a rookie. And that's the worst thing I ever seen in my life. I have never seen something like that in my life. You know?
We appreciate everything that you've done, Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you guys do.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care of yourself. Here's Rich. Rich, you're on Ron and Fez. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Ron and Fez. How you guys doing?
Good.
You guys are the kings. Listen, I've been a fireman for about 17 years. And, we've been through a lot. But I got to tell you, the people of this city, state, country, really deserve a pat on the back for stepping up and just having their prayers with us and just doing so much for us and each other in this time. It's a true testament to what being an American is all about.
Thank you very much, Rich.
God bless, guys.
Take care. Tony, you will be the last caller tonight. How are you, my friend?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Yeah.
I just want to quickly commend you guys for having the shows that you're having tonight. And I want to say that I personally have trouble getting on with my life knowing that there's American men and women fighting for our rights to get on with our lives.
You know, that's a very good point. A lot of these people telling us to move on. You got to remember, there are people over there now, and there's people going to other places, and we can't stop our support for them, just like we're doing for the, we try to be there for the cops and the firemen, the emergency workers. Now you got to turn it around and try to be there for the military. Even if you don't agree with every move that's being made, don't forget that those people in those front lines, young people, kids.
Right, let's never get comfortable with the fact that there's a war going on, and that's just a part of life now.
Here's a call, Fezzy, that was given to us that night by a couple of young kids. And it was the night of the 11th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And I guess
I think their mom put them on.
Their mom put them on with us, and here it was.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. We love you, America.